feature a couple of Division V powers tonight. From the east side, we broadcast, and tonight we have Bishop Brady taking on Columbus Academy. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Honda's Friday Night Rivals, as presented by Columbus State Community College. I'm Randy Reinhardt, and look who's back. It's the football professor. How did it go at Ohio State, sir?
It was great. I had the honor of being the MC at the Ohio State Athletics Hall of Fame, and it was a terrific evening. Glad to be back with you, though.
And glad to have you here, and glad to bring you this matchup in week number 5. What a contest we have as we take a look at Bishop Brady, the Silver Knights. They are 2-2 on the season. They are coached by Dr. Michael Schaefer in year number 1, a longtime assistant coach in this area and athletic director as well, too. They have a running back who wears number 2, but he is number 1 in the hearts of fans of Bishop Brady. His name is Brian Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, they're going to run a pretty vanilla offense, but that means they're going to come at you and they're going to try and smack you in the mouth. And Brian Fitzsimmons is a guy that has 6 touchdowns, as you see, but most importantly, averaging nearly 30 carries a time for each game.
And they got by Buckeye Valley last week, 23-13. On the other side, it is Columbus Academy. They are 1-3. They're coached by Robin Miller in year number 7. They have a guy that will never leave the field. He is constant energy. He wears number 14. His name is Drake Belisari.
Yeah, great history for this young man. He's second cousin to both Greg and Steve Belisari, both of which were stars at Ohio State. This is a guy that I believe is the epitome of what an academy football player is all about. He'll play on both sides of the ball, and I believe that he is good enough to influence the outcome of the football game on both the offense and the defense.
He is 100 miles an hour 100% of the time. They lost last week to Harvest Prep by a count of 49-14. These teams have split the last 4 in the series. Are you ready for some high school football?
Let's rock and roll.
Are you ready? What a game we have tonight, week number 5. It's Reedy and Academy, and it's all coming up next right here on Honda's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus.
Now, hello, what's going on? Mic check, mic check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
See the umpire throw out the grounds crew?
I heard it. I know him, Tim Timmons. He's from Columbus.
He didn't throw him out. He just told him to get off the field, but everybody was having fun with that.
I loved it. Tim's a good friend of mine. Get out of here.
Tonight's game is being televised live on the CW Columbus and right to your smartphone. You can watch tonight's game and every Friday Rivals game on the ABC6 News app, the ABC6 YouTube channel, and at CWColumbus.com. We would like to thank our friends at the Kroger Great Lakes Distribution Center for helping to power tonight's matchup. And be sure to let all of your out-of-town family and friends know they don't need to miss a second of Honda's Friday Night Rivals. Always available on air, online, and on every device. CW Columbus would like to thank our sponsors for tonight's televised game. Those sponsors are Central Ohio Honda Dealers, Columbus State Community College, the Ohio Education Association, Music Go Round, Kroger Great Lakes Distribution.
And welcome back to Hondros Field in Gahanna. Let's get a look at how the weather is going to impact tonight's game with ABC6 Chief Meteorologist Marshall McPeak.
We have a beautiful night for some high school football on the way. The temperatures are going to feel like midsummer, and we'll see some sunshine pretty much through at least the beginning of the game. Sun goes down 7:30, 7:45, so you'll notice that happening then. So while we have Reedy at Columbus Academy, we'll start with kickoff at 82 degrees. By halftime, we're down to around 78. Once the sun goes down, you'll see those temperatures falling fairly quickly, and we'll drop into the 60s overnight tonight. But enjoy a fantastic game.
Thank you, Marshall. Now to the sidelines we go to meet the third member of our broadcast team, the living legend, Miles Harris. Miles.
Randy, thank you very much. Now, these two schools, they may be small schools in Central Ohio, but they definitely come with big hearts. Now, you'll see those big hearts tonight, and as you watch this contest, one player to keep a special eye on is number 26 for Bishop Reedy. I'm talking about Jared Kaboy. Now, Kaboy has overcome a lot within the last year, and I'm not talking about his efforts on the field. I'm actually talking about him overcoming both COVID and cancer in the same year. Now, he actually returned to the field last week, and we'll actually see him return tonight as well. That's what it looks like. And one other note to point out as well is that we're actually at the halfway point of the season, so definitely look for both these teams to put a lot more effort to try to turn the tables in the later half of the season. Randy, Jeff.
Miles, thank you very much. Academy won the toss and deferred, so Bishop Reedy will receive. Academy will be kicking right to left to start this contest. And Jeff, I'm seeing more and more interesting clouds over the top of the field here, but hopefully we'll have great weather for tonight's contest. And really kind of a misnomer, too, when you look at the records. These teams have played solid contests throughout the campaign. We're going to honor America now, ladies and gentlemen, as we play our national anthem. As Miles mentioned, week number 5 of the high school football season, but killer schedules, Jeff, when you look at these two teams. First of all, for Reedy, they played Newark Catholic, lost to them. They beat Cincinnati Woodward. They played Watterson. They also played Buckeye Valley, split those last two games. And on the other side, for Columbus Academy, they took on University School, KIP, Newark Catholic, and Harvest Prep. Harvest Prep is a power at 2-1. Newark Catholic undefeated. Coach Ayala has that squad at 4-0.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, both members of the MSL Ohio, though Bishop Reedy is considered an auxiliary member of the MSL Ohio, which means they're going to play all of the member teams in the conference, but they will not be able to share in any titles, nor will they be able to have any individual recognition for the MSL Ohio. But let me tell you what, that is a loaded conference of small schools.
Max Pop is ready to boot the ball, we thought, but he came back to get something from the sidelines. I think he needs a different tee, doesn't he?
He needs a tee.
Well,
he has
he's
one
got
out
a tee
there.
out there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Perhaps he needs a mouthpiece as well, too. It's kind of a match set, mouthpiece, tee. They go together. Back deep, I want to clarify something in this game. We have a Logan, we have a Reinhardt. They're not related, but they're both more talented than us.
Which team is on which, though?
You have a Logan on Academy.
Yes.
I have a Reinhardt on
right.
Reedy. And Mr. Reinhardt is back deep, by the way. And there's the boot. And Cantrell will return it, or will he? He'll let it hit the 1 and bounce through the end zone for a touchback. We'll bring it out to the 20 to start this contest with the Silver Knights on offense. We mentioned Mr. Fitzsimmons at offensive running back, but he's got a partner in the quarterback and Caleb Schaefer, who runs the show. No relation to the head coach, spelled differently, by the way, but he is related to the Pantello family and that wealth of football talent in that particular family. So it is number 17, Caleb Schaefer, who is the quarterback. 6'4", he goes 181.
First and 10, Silver Knights from their own 20.
They're in their speed backfield where they've got number 1 and number 2, a freshman, Kentrell Reinhardt, back there with Brian Fitzsimmons.
On a first down play, they're going to keep it on the ground, and they'll stuff it right at the line of scrimmage. Great job by that defense. And at Home Appliance Solutions first down, there is nothing there in the middle of the field for the aforementioned Brian Fitzsimmons, who comes in with 115 carries, 579 yards on the campaign, a 5-yard average. There is the offense. Sage Tilley gets to start it wide out along with Miller. Miller's just a youngster, too, at sophomore. There you see the line with Mix, another youngster, is doing really well. Dimmel, Akers, and Melrose and Sutton, the strength of that line up front. And you've got Fitzsimmons at running back along with Reinhardt, Schaefer the quarterback. So we'll mark it again at the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10. This time they go with a wing and one back in the backfield to hand it off the left side. And second effort will bounce the ball up across the 24 to near the 25-yard line. Good job that time by Fitzsimmons. He was hit by an initial surge at the 20, but bounced off it and was able to pick up 5. Defensively for Academy, Chris Farbizo runs that with a 4-3 with the quarters under most of the time. Witt gets a start up front. Given Mendenhall is a guy to watch up front along with Miles Friedman, 2 more guys that will never leave the field. We talked about Belisari in the open 2. Parker Logan, the aforementioned Mr. Logan. Mr. Hacker has been a surprise how well he's played. Jenkins and James lead that secondary. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5 scenario now from the 25-yard line. On the boot this time by Schaefer, dumps it out, and the pass, the full extension. Do they make the catch? They did not along the near sidelines. Intended on the play for number 11. That is Dalton Miller, so it'll be 4th and 5 now for the Silver Knights.
Yeah, Randy, the timing of that play just really didn't look good. It took the quarterback forever to get out into the flat, find the receiver, throw the football well out in front of the receiver, caught it out of bounds. Great effort on the sidelines there, though, by Dalton Miller.
So it's a punting situation now for the Silver Knights, and they've got a great one, too. And Evan O'Connell, and whistle and flags on the play.
Those are week 1 mistakes. That's a mental error. The man in motion going across. Here's the call.
False start. Offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
The voice of Todd Spencer, your referee for this contest tonight. Yeah, we'll mark it back 5. We're talking about Evan O'Connell, the punter. 40.7-yard average per punt this year. Now, also as their place kicker last week, 3 of 3 on field goals. So mark it back to the 20. It'll be a 3rd down and make that 4th down and 10 from there. A little rugby kick to the right, so it's going to hit at the 47. Trickle across midfield, scooped up the 44-yard line by Jenkins. To the 40, Jenkins all the way down to the 36-yard line. People saw the marker on the play and they thought, well, that's a flag, but no, it's just a marker to mark where he actually caught the ball.
Yeah, just a beanball. What a really good block, and that was fundamentally sound. It was one of those, we'll call it a crackback block, even though those are not supposed to be legal, but watch the bottom right or left of your screen, number 30. Oh, going to get picked off right there. Really good job of blocking downfield and great field position to start this drive for the Vikings.
Jenkins, 17 yards on the return for Henry Ruby and company on offense on this first down play. Nice move to the inside, and boy, if he's keeping his feet standing up, Carter James is still running, but he gets a nice first down run, and will move the sticks again on the first possession and the first play for the Vikings. Offensively up front, you get a look, and you're going to see a lot of the same names. 8 of the 11 start on both sides of the football for the Vikings. Welcome to D5 football. Ruby's one of the few that does not start on both sides, although he can play in the secondary. And another first down play. Again, it is James bursting through the hole and still finding his way all the way down inside the 12 to the 11-yard line. Carter James, 6 feet 205, and a senior, 42 carries, good for 179 yards coming into this contest. And now, let's meet the defense for the Silver Knights. Michael Schaefer and T.J. Burbridge handle that. And we mentioned Kaboy in the open. Smith, a guy that can be solid up front along with Austin. Linebackers, there's some good ones in there. Watch for Connor Moore. They're missing one guy in Zach McAndrew, who's out with a torn ACL. It'll be James again gliding to his right. Finds the gap inside the 10. Down inside the 8 near the 7-yard line. Tell you.
So far, Reedy getting a little dose of their own medicine. They're the ones that like to come out and run the ball down your throat, and Academy seems to have come out with the edge here early in the game.
I was just going to say, James looks like a physical downhill runner, but he's a glider as well, too, so he takes 2 or 3 steps, and already he's about 6 yards downfield. So a nice gain on that first down play. It'll be 2nd down, and they pick up nearly half the yardage they need. 2nd down and 5 from there. To the left side. Yeah, they're going to go back the other way, and on the keeper play, there's Ruby. Ruby on the campaign, by the way, 33 carries, good for 86 yards coming into this contest. And He's a first-year starter. Brady Hess preceded him for 3 years. A nice fake that time.
Yeah, good job of carrying out the fake by Drake Belisari, but Brady doing a good job of staying at home on the defensive side.
Big play early for both of these teams as Ruby readjusts the socks and takes a look at a 3rd down and 5 now. James trying to bounce it outside, and the defense strings it out, knocks him down at around the 6-yard line. Good job that time for the Silver Knights by Cullen Dent to string out that play and make the hit.
Yeah, Randy, that's a mistake a lot of running backs are going to make. He bailed out on this play way too early. You got to get yourself back inside and try and find that seam. If you're running side to side, what I'm going to call east and west, as opposed to north and south, you're going to allow the defense to be able to pursue.
Dent, 10 solos, 8 assists, 3.5 tackles for a loss. Two-way starter now as a junior. Last year as a sophomore was playing JV. So 4th down, and no sign of a kick here. They're going to go for it. Jeff on a 4th down and 4. James to readjust to the left of Ruby. He'll get the toss. He gets it to the 5. He gets it to the goal line and takes it in for the touchdown. So a big 4th down conversion early in this one, and with 7:58 left to go, the Vikings score first, make it 6-0 on another Ramos Roofing touchdown. Get your free estimate on a roof by calling or texting 614-761-ROOF.
How about Carter James on this drive? He was Mr. Everything. Puts the ball on the outside arm, buries himself into the end zone. They love to run behind that left side. Look at the great block by number 75, Given Mendenhall. First team All-District, second team All-Ohio offensive tackle, and that is a young man that can lead the running backs.
And a 4-year starter to boot. Extra point is up by Max Poppin. It is good. He's now 9 of 10 on the extra tallies, and just like that, 7-0 Vikings early in this one as Carter James gets his 3rd rushing touchdown of the campaign. His uncle was All-State football player Derek Russell, who played at Independence back in the 80s that I covered. Time now to check out the Honda's keys to the game for Reedy. Lee Schaefer, that's the head coach, leading and tutoring Mr. Schaefer, who's the quarterback in Caleb. Ruby is a gem. They know that this is the guy that runs the offense for Academy, so Reedy wants to shut him down. For Academy, put the hits on Ritz. So quite simply, they have to go ahead and make sure they get stops on Brian Fitzsimmons whenever he has the football. And that's one of the keys for Academy. And the second one, 8 is enough. Again, going back to the fact that they have 8 guys that are starting on both sides of the football. And that is more than enough, according to head coach Robin Miller.
That's a fact of life in the Division 5, Randy, as you've mentioned. The depth just isn't there. You get your best 12, 15, 20 players on the field at all times.
Reinhardt retreats to the 2-yard line. Kentrell glides to the 10, gets it up to the 21-yard line. That is not the frame and the running style of a freshman when you look at that kid that goes 6 feet and 180, but he has a nice return of 19 yards. And Reedy gets it back, and really, they made no statement on offense on their first possession.
Again, they're going to try and establish the run. It just did not look, Randy, like they were in sync. And I will tell you that Academy defensive line did a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. Mendenhall, we talked about on the offense, you see him lined up there at the inside defensive tackle position.
3 to the top, Miller and Tilley the widest. They're going to keep it on the ground, try to stretch out the defense. There's nothing there for Fitzsimmons. He is brought down back at the 19-yard line. Tried to turn the corner and found absolutely nothing. As that time, I believe Sean Michael Guin makes the hit on the play.
Watch the pressure right here. There's Guin, comes up, number 65. That's a great wrestling move right there. He's able to take him down for a loss on the play. 2nd down and 12.
Sean Michael, 2 solos, 5 assists, a sack, and a tackle for loss for that man, Robin Miller. Coming into this contest, loss of a couple on the play, 2nd and 12 from back of the 19-yard line. They stack 2 on either side. One man in motion out top to bottom. He'll get the handoff in stride, look for a gap. Trying to stretch out the defense again. They'll get it up to around the 25, maybe the 26. As that time, it is Dalton Miller on the carry, who has now 3 carries, and that puts him in positive yardage. Who has 2 carries for -1 yards coming into this contest.
Watch the play Mendenhall makes here, Randy. He's not going to get credit for the tackle, but he is the one that trips him up here. He reaches right there, able to trip him up, and the tackle made by E.J. Jenkins, the really good cornerback, playing in that boundary position.
So it'll be 3rd down now with the ball resting at the 26-yard line. They need to double what they got. They need 5 more. Again, they go for that double stack look at the wide receivers. Again, man in motion top to bottom. And they get a nice game, but only 3 yards for Miller, and it's going to set him shy of the sticks by a couple of yards and set up a 4th down situation now as we approach halfway through the first quarter.
Another good pursuit play by Sean Michael Guin. Watch 65 just continue to get loose of the tackler, able to come up, and that's what you got to do. You got to be able to do those hand battles up there, and Guin does a nice job straightening up that offensive tackle, stripping him, and getting to the ball carrier.
As your defensive lineman, the first thing you're taught is stay alive. Punting situation now for the Silver Knights again, and O'Connell standing back at his own 16-yard line. A kind hop, and it's Jenkins from the 41-yard line. Gives ground, now has a seam to the outside. Jenkins to the 45, to the 40, and inside the 35-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. And now a quick word from your Central Ohio Honda dealers.
With a Honda in your garage, every summer adventure leads to another. Get an incredible summer offer on a new Honda, only at the Honda Summer Sales Event.
43 yards on 2 returns for Jenkins already in this contest, and Ruby straight back to throw, setting up a screen. He was. They dodged a bullet that time. Big number 75 coming up on the bottom of the pile with that football. That's Elijah Austin. You know, we talk about what you have to do in front defensively. Talk about dent the front. Austin is a guy that can do that at 6 feet and 302.
Did a great job of pulling that defensive line in with him. Speaking of quarterback Henry Ruby, but you got to put some air under that ball. You had a wide open receiver with linemen blocking. Got to get that ball over top of the picket fence.
Blocked the pass.
And it'll be 2nd down and 10 now from the 35 of the Silver Knights.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 for the 35. The quick pop. Pass is caught inside the 30, the 25, the 20, and down the sidelines. Nice little move for Parker Logan. We finally found a Logan that could score, takes it in for the touchdown with 5:28 left to go, and a rapid start for Academy, up 13-0.
That's just a bubble screen out on the perimeter. They got a good block out there, and I want to watch the move that he puts on at the end. Parker Logan, really proud of this young man. Watch this move. Whoop! Gone. You're toast. I'm in the end zone. Touchdown, Parker Logan.
Listed as a tight end, that is his 5th touchdown receiving. He had been a running back in the past, but Jeffy's taller, and they said at 6'2", you're good size for a tight end, so they moved him there. And just like that, he gets a touchdown, and the extra point is converted. So, with 5:28 left to go, we stand now at 14-0, and we'll take a break here on Honda's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus.
We're having some issues with the scoreboard. It's not recording the score. But trust me, it's 14-0.
Couple of quick scores by Academy, now up 14-0 early in this one, as that one was a 2-play 35-yard drive. As Ruby passes to Logan, they take it in for the touchdown. Extra point is good as well too by Pop, and before that James on a 4-yard touchdown run. So just halfway through this quarter already, Jeff, a quick statement by Academy saying we're much better than 1-3.
Well, and a year ago Brady came out and just laid the wood to this Academy football team, and now it seems to be going in the other direction.
Reinhardt from the 3. Cantrell up to the 27-yard line. Flag down on the play at the 24, near side of the field, away from everything. We'll see what that is with 5:21 left to go here. And it's going to go against the offense, I think. Again, our referee for this contest tonight is Todd Spencer.
During a return, block in the back, return team, number 43. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Again, your referee is Todd Spencer for this contest tonight, and your umpire is Ray Latz. The head linesman is Ken Hill. The line judge is Steve Hawley, and the back judge, we say hello, David Newman. So first down, as Brady's going the wrong direction here with 5:21 left to go. Silver Knights down 14 and starting this drive from the 14-yard line.
And Randy, they have started their first 3 drives at their own 20, 21, and 14.
Get the spread look again, and boy, that was a high tackle. That was a dangerous tackle by big number 79 there. And Kevin Mendenhall came in, and he has to watch when he grabs that shoulder and neck area there because he got precariously close to grabbing the old horse collar there.
Boy, he just separates, came right in there. That's fine. That is a terrific job by Mendenhall. He beat his man on the inside move. Not only a big dude, but he's got great feet, moves extraordinarily well. Mendenhall at 6'3", 235, a senior.
They lose 1.5 yards on the play, so it'll be second down and long now as we're under 5 left to go in the first quarter. And there is nothing between the tackles right now for Reedy. As they try to find the gap for Fitzsimmons, there's nothing there. So right now, if you're Reedy, you had some success when you've taken the ball with the guy in motion going from top to bottom and Miller a couple times. But between the tackles, you've been held in check.
Yeah, as a running team, Randy, the most important down, in my opinion, is first down because you do not want to put yourself in second and long, third and long situations because you are primarily a running football team. This is a very uncomfortable down and distance for Reedy.
But if you're looking at the numbers for Caleb Schaefer as a passer, 27 of 44, 234 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, but it is third down and long, third down and 10. Officials timeout. We've got a player, and maybe 22 Tilley, that may have to check off the field.
And they may have an equipment issue.
Yep.
Randy, we were talking about the fact that Bishop Reedy has started 3 drives tonight from their 20, 21, and 14. On the other hand, Columbus Academy, because of those 2 punt returns that you talked about, were able to start their drives on the Bishop Reedy 36 and 35-yard line.
I looked at Tilley's left knee, and the pad was not underneath, so they had to allow him to go to the sidelines and tuck that in. Schaefer to roll and dump, and the pass is complete on the play. And look at Miller go across the 45-yard line. I'm not sure that was the intended receiver on the play, are you?
I will guarantee you it was not. He was throwing it out there to a white jersey. He was hoping he was going to get it to the right guy. It turned out to be one of his. But you can see here, good pressure up here to force it back inside. That was a good job by Parker Logan. But there you see the open receiver over the middle. They're able to find Dalton Miller, and he's able to get their first down of the game.
Move it up to the 47-yard line. That'll move the sticks from there with 3:27 left to go after the gain on the play. And it'll be Reinhardt around the left side. Kentrell down the sidelines inside the 40. There's the speed and the ability of Reinhardt to get to the outside. And again, what we mentioned before, there was no success between the tackles, so Reedy now trying to open it up just a little bit, working their way outside, and Reinhardt finding the gap.
Yeah, they're packing the box and they're denying the inside run, but again, freshman running back Kentrell Reinhardt, 17 carries on the season, 1 touchdown. He's also caught, Randy, 9 balls out of the backfield, so they'd love to get the ball to Kentrell Reinhardt.
He likes cooking, fishing, sports, algebra, and Spanish. And they'll dump it to him again, but there's a hanky before we start this thing. And again, you look at that frame, Jeff, and I'm saying that is not a freshman. Here's Mr. Spencer.
Dead ball, false start, offense, number 22, 5-yard penalty, first down.
I mean, you got to think this kid is going to grow, and not only will he grow with strength, but speed as well, too. And there's some kids that are growing, too. Now, they offer everything here, a full night of entertainment at Hondros Field. So, Jeff, if you get bored in the second half, you can go and play on the swings.
That's what used to happen when I was coaching youth football. The kids that weren't playing would head for the swings.
My son's baseball team, the kids would sit in the outfield and play with the dandelions. First down and 15 from back of the 46 of the Vikings. Reinhardt's got it, turns the corner, tries to tightrope the sidelines, gets inside the 40-yard line. Again, more and more teams seem to be mystified. I know Hartley did it a lot of running to the short side of the field. Jeff, why do you do that?
Well, it's pure math, Randy. If you look at the way the defense is lined up, the short side of the field, meaning that hash mark in has got less defenders over there to be able to block. So if you can get that jet sweep, which is exactly what they ran there to Reinhardt, you're getting it into an area where you outnumber the defenders.
You ever think we would call our own name so much in a game?
I did not. Reinhardt better not fumble.
Gain of 1 on the play plus the penalty, so they pick up 6 altogether. This time they're going to lose a yard or 2. Great penetration by the defense. Again, Mr. Logan tackled Mr. Reinhardt.
Yeah, and he did it very nicely.
Thank you.
Good job.
So that's no gain on the play. Actually, we'll make it 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, Parker Logan, that middle linebacker. You can watch number 5 come up here. He had this thing scoped out from the beginning, but look at the number of maroon jerseys that are right there making the play. Good upfield push that time by the strong safety, Carter James.
Inch that ball close to the 41. We'll just call it 3rd down and 10. Is this 4-down territory perhaps here?
Boy, you would think it'd be close. They really need to get 5 or 6 yards, though, Randy, on this 3rd down play.
Tight end to the top. Miller and Tilly to the bottom now with the backs from an eye. And rolling is Schaefer, looking underneath, dumping. Pass is complete. Gets Fitzsimmons out of the backfield. He's down to the 36, maybe the 35-yard line as he makes catch number 6 on the campaign. So now you've got a 4th down from the 36. 4th down and 5.
Yeah, tough call for Coach over there for Coach Schaefer. We'll look rolling to the sideline. This seems to be their passing formula, not being drop back, but rolling the quarterback out. They were able to pick up 5. No look at punting the ball at all. Henry Ruby, though, wrong team. Caleb Schaefer is not the punter, so don't expect a quick kick here.
So it's Miller and Tilly to the top now, with Dent, the tight end, to the bottom. Backs from an eye on a 4th down and 5. Is it a rollout option here?
Whoa.
We saw motion up front.
Things. Left guard was moving before the snap.
Here's your call.
Dead ball. False start. Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So your chance to get that 1st down is negated because the punting team's going to come on the field.
Yeah, penalties have been an issue here in the first quarter for Bishop Brady.
So it's a punting scenario now for the Silver Knights in the person of Evan O'Connell.
2 big kick recoveries returned so far for Academy.
Yeah, Jenkins at 43 yards. He actually has 1 return this year for a touchdown. And where is that going to sail? Is that going to go out of bounds? This is a tough call, I always think, for the official, is try to figure out where it is. They'll go to the goal line and mark it up, and we'll tell you where it's going to be in just a second. Live stream sponsored by Kroger Great Lakes Distribution Center. Every game is streaming live on the ABC6 YouTube channel, the ABC6 News app, and on the CWColumbus.com, and is always available on your television right here on the CW Columbus. And Jeff, they just decided to spot the ball where now?
At the 8-yard line, Randy.
Okay.
So, again, great field position for Academy. In the first 2 drives, it ended up in touchdowns. They had the ball on the Bishop Reedy side around the 35-yard line, but now they're going to have to go 92 yards for a score here. You don't want to make a mistake with the goal line against your back.
Returning starter Miles Friedman over the football. Returning starter at center never leaves the field. Also is the long snapper as well, too, on this 1st down play. Keep it on the ground, and they'll inch their way out to around the 10-yard line, so they'll pick up 2 on the play. It's that time they find a little gap for Drake Belisari.
That's the first carry of the night for number 14. We talked about him playing both sides of the ball, a difference maker. Senior football player, 5'10", 170 pounds, and Randy, his sophomore year, 2 years ago, he had an ACL injury.
Last year, 74 carries for 410 yards. This year, he's at around 72 yards with that carry. Keep it on the ground. James, nice cut move inside. Keeps his balance and spins around and hasn't been stopped yet. And fighting. Well, that's a ball carry. When you keep the legs churning, good things can happen. And he had the 1st down, burst through there, and that little slide back to the inside, able to get him the 1st down.
Yeah, this is picture perfect. When he puts his foot in the turf right here, boom, he's able to get up inside, able to make a miss downfield. We always talk about BYOB, be your own blocker, and that's exactly what he did by making somebody miss downfield, and a terrific run, 1st down.
Jenkins that time coming around on the carry to get it. That's his 3rd carry of the campaign. They'll keep it on the ground left side, and It'll be Belisari out to around the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. So with 13 ticks left to go and not enough for a first down, you're looking at the last play of the first quarter. All Academy early on with James and Logan with touchdowns. And after the first 12 minutes, 14-0. Academy leads week number 5 with D5 Powers doing battle here on Honda's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus.
Recognized scholar athlete. Ohio Education Association is proud to recognize Central Ohio's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Jason Gardner is co-captain of the Bishop Brady High School football team. He also plays basketball and runs track. Jason has earned 2 academic letters and is on the honor roll. He plans to study computer science in college and has a 3.8 GPA. Jason volunteers at the Mid-Ohio Food Bank and Special Olympics. Congratulations to this outstanding Ohio Education Association Scholar Athlete.
Welcome back to Hondros Field as we start the second quarter. 14-0. Vikings set sail early and cruising now to a 2-score lead. Randy Reinhardt, Jeff Logan, Miles Harris, glad to have you aboard for week number 5 of Friday Night Rivals here on the CW Columbus. Reedy at 2-2 and 1-3 for Academy, but you wouldn't know it by the style of play in this contest. There's a short gain on the left-hand side that time in the person of number 9, Carter James. To the sidelines we go, and Miles Harris.
Thank you, Randy. Now, I did get a chance to talk to Coach Miller from Academy before this kickoff, and he admitted that the 1-3 start wasn't exactly what his team had in mind when it comes to the season, but he added that they did have a good week of practice and did say that the run game would be able to open up the passing game, which is exactly what we saw in the first 2 series here. However, Bishop Reedy stands. They're keeping their team electric and trying to keep this team involved throughout this contest tonight, guys.
And, Jeff, you mentioned something, too little revenge, too, for what happened last year. Academy's looking for that. Also, if you go back to 2018, the loss to Reedy cost Academy a playoff spot. They finished 9th. So some of these kids don't have that sense of history, but the coaching staff does, I can tell you that.
They certainly remember that. I think it was 400 yards rushing by Bishop Reedy.
They just barely get the punt off in the person of Ruby, and that takes a Silver Knights bounce inside the 42-yard line. So Reedy now is going to have a short field to traverse, and 11:32 left in the first half. What has gone well for the Silver Knights offensively?
Well, Randy, they got a little bit of movement this time by getting the ball outside. And the biggest challenge for them has been field position in the game. They really haven't had much of an opportunity, only a couple of first downs so far. But now, after a poor kick, the ball is going to be set at the 41-yard line of Academy, and that's a great starting position for this offense.
Well, and the other thing is, remember, too, they've got a great kicker in Evan O'Connell, who's got range up to about 50 or 55 yards. On a first down and 10 from the 41 of Academy. That punt, by the way, traveled only 15 yards. Slots to either side. That's Reinhardt in motion. Schaefer going back to throw. Pressure's on, got hit in the face, it looked like, and goes down at the 45-yard line. Pressure came through. Was that Belisari that got to him?
44.
Oh, it was 44 that made the hit instead. Ryan Witt, the defensive end.
Yeah, Witt was a surprise starter at that defensive end. Watch the bottom of your screen.
Watch
Witt
the high
is able
hit.
to shake through and boom, right in the shoulder. He's able to make the play. I don't think the quarterback, Caleb Schaefer, had any idea the pressure was coming from that young man right there, Witt.
Standing 8-count ineffective in the state of Ohio, so a loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15 from back at the 46-yard line. He was looking to his left, one-on-one coverage for a receiver going deep. This time he's got Miller to the top. He's got 2 wide to the bottom, including Cantrell Reinhardt in the slot. And we had motion early, but no flag on the play. And they're going to get the ball down to the 45-yard line. So from there, it'll be 3rd down and 14. So a gain of maybe 1 on the play. So it'll set up a 3rd and long for Schaefer and company.
Yep, self-inflicted wound there for Bishop Ready. They've had the penalties, and you can see here this play was certainly botched at the beginning. Quarterback turned to the left looking for somebody, and Caleb Schaefer had no choice but to be able to take the ball up inside, make a bad play no better or no worse. And 3rd down and 15. This is not good down and distance.
They moved the ball back 1 yard. He fell forward to the 45, but they mark it at the 46. The quick out, and he overthrows the intended receiver, Tilley, on the play. So they waste outstanding field position. In fact, they wind up -5 and force a punting situation.
Yeah, you know, you're still in reach in this game, Randy. Trailing 14-0. Field position obviously going to play a big part in this game with 2 substantially solid running football teams. They'll try and kick this ball down inside the 20-yard line and make Academy start again from inside their own red zone.
Jenkins standing back at the 10. He had a 69-yard punt return for a touchdown against Kip. Evan at his own 41. It's Marshall in motion. The rugby roll to the right. And Jenkins has it at the 8. To the 15. To the 20. The one thing he loves to do is he loves to circle to the wide side of the field, and he's got the speed to beat most guys to the outside.
Yeah, I love the fact that he fielded the punt, and the one thing that he's going to have to learn, though, that returning that ball to the wide side of the field is a long way to go, and it creates a lot of people with angles. They're going to be able to get you. It worked the first couple of times for him, but this time, eventually, E.J. Jenkins got caught.
A return of 16 yards, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Mark the ball at the 24. 9:49 left to go here in the first half, and they're up by a count of 14-0. They go with a triad look now to the top, including Jake Carlin, who's widest of the 3. The offensive line looks back to get more information from Mr. Ruby. They'll hand it off, keep it on the ground, and just putting his head down and burrowing for whatever he can is Carter James, a guy that's getting looks from some schools like Denison. Against Newark Catholic, he had 13 carries for 72 yards. I love this about Carter James. He likes math, working on cars, collecting shoes. He plays baseball, basketball, and runs track.
And Devin Malone.
And I believe the James family is related to the Moultrie family as well, too. It's interesting. Carter James came into this game averaging only 3.2 yards per try, with Drake Belisari being the featured back. And tonight it looks like Carter James is the go-to guy.
So it's second down after a gain of 4 as we approach 9 minutes left to go. And Ruby wants to throw, nothing to his right, so he's got plenty of real estate to the left. He'll get the first down and then some. Boy, he's got quick feet out across the 40-yard line. And Henry Ruby,
the ball carrier,
who has had pretty good games earlier in the season against the likes of University School and Newark Catholic, has the first down.
Yeah, this is great recognition by the junior quarterback, being able to feel the pressure and then get out there in the wide open spaces. There was some question about the strength of an ankle injury to Henry Ruby before the football game, but he certainly looked like he was pretty close to 100% there.
So the 5'10", 150-pound senior takes it for a first down. Now they come back this way on the toss, and a good job by the Silver Knight defense to stand that one up, although the running back still pushes ahead on that Home Appliance Solutions first down, and Belisari will get the ball up to around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, how about the strength of that young man being able to push for an extra 5 yards there? That ball was stopped 2 or 3 yards deep for a loss, and Drake Belisari able to come up with a big play.
What did Coach Miller say? He plays everywhere. He plays everywhere at 100%. As soon as he's done at one position, he goes to the next one and just motors and never stops. Second down. With 8:20 left to go, they need 8. They put it in the breadbasket, number 8. Jenkins trying to turn the corner. Bounced off one hit and brought down right around the line of scrimmage. So it'll be third down and long, awaiting the Vikings now.
Again, trying to test the outside using the wide side of the field. Got a little bit of a injury situation. Player slow getting up. As you watch coming across the formation, E.J. Jenkins. You've seen him on defense. You've seen him return punts tonight. Pretty good receiver out there, too. 7 receptions, no touchdowns yet, but he does have a punt return for a touchdown already this year.
More to come in 30 seconds, but first this message from First Scores on Fox 28.
First Scores on Fox 28, sponsored by Spectrum, tonight at 10:45.
Coming up, the Musical Round Coach's Corner. We'll hear from both coaches for thoughts on the first half. Musical Round can help with all your instrument needs at 2630 Bethel Road and Gahanna inside the Stone Ridge Plaza. Jeff, the injured players whom?
Injured player Devin Malone, one of the defensive linemen out there, able to get up on his own power, should be fine.
So now it's 3rd down and 7 from the 46. Ruby directing traffic. Got a man wide open, 2 men wide open. Finds the man across the middle inside the 40. Here comes Logan down the far sidelines. Parker inside the 20. Jeffy had 2 guys near side open, 1 guy far side, all wide open.
Nice little play. They ran a bunch of people deep, and Logan came on a waggle route over the middle. Nice job by that young man. You can see great protection, everybody deep, and Parker Logan screaming, "Get me the football." Already a touchdown tonight, nearly had number 2.
But there was another man who was open downfield. He was an lineman, so we have an ineligible lineman downfield. So this play is coming back. So
minor detail.
Here's Mr. Spencer with the call.
An ineligible receiver downfield, offense, number 55, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, when plays take that long to develop, Randy, it's very easy for that offensive lineman to be thinking about getting downfield to help your quarterback. Let's see if we can see the pressure coming, taking a long time to get this ball loose. And Parker Logan made a great spot of being able to sit down and show his quarterback where he can be. Don't be surprised if they don't come back with that again.
Well, when your center is downfield illegally, you know it's taking a long time to get things going. So now it's 3rd down. And for now, the Silver Knights have dodged a bullet and going long downfield, looking for a man in stride. Look at that, in and out of the breadbasket at the 20-yard line. A perfect throw, a perfect look back, but Belisari cannot corral the football.
Well, Belisari coming out of that backfield spot, they had him in a wing, and you can't say that wasn't a perfect pass, but I will tell you that is a very difficult ball to be able to catch blind over the top. Great throw by Henry Ruby. Put some air under the football and watch again. Right where you want it to be, and unfortunately Drake Belisari unable to come up with the catch.
So Ruby to stay on the field and punt right now. And Dalton Miller stands back at his 30-yard line. Miller hunts it down at the 29. And we'll move forward about 5 yards. And that's where the Silver Knights will take over, down 14-0 in this contest. 2 early scores for Academy as James took it in from 4 yards out, and Ruby with a pass to Logan. And just like that, it was 14-0 as we play the favorite song, Moon Over Gahanna. A gorgeous moon tonight. There's a festival that's going on in downtown Gahanna, so if you're in the neighborhood, don't drive through there.
I thought we might see that tourist spaceship up there.
Don't you have one up there, too?
I would love to be up there at some
Air
point
Logan?
in time. That would be terrific.
Let's see what the Silver Knights can do now. 5th possession, down 14-0. Schaefer to roll, look, dumps underneath, has his man. It's Fitzsimmons across the 40. And again, stretching out the defense a little bit. They've not found any success between the tackles, so they roll to the right and get the ball up across the 40-yard line in the arms of Brian Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, basic flood patterns by the back coming out of the backfield. Receivers down there at 3 different levels gives the quarterback the opportunity to find a lot of open receivers and makes it very difficult on the defense to be able to come up. Now, don't be surprised if they don't throw it deep here on 2nd and 1.
They love those Ironman running backs. Remember Jack Foley would carry it 30, 40 times? Buckeye Valley last week saw Fitzsimmons carry it 43 times. Rolling, dumping underneath, passes complete again to Fitzsimmons, out to the 45, goes through 2 defenders, and gets up to the 47 and gets a first down. He's got a low center of gravity. He runs well behind his pads, and you can tell he's a wrestler as well, too.
Yeah, Randy, this is obviously a passing play, but it's also what a running team does for their sweep plays. This is a way of getting the ball out in the flat, in space, to one of your running backs and getting it out there very quickly. You're going to be able to complete 99% of those throws.
Brady, a proud program that's made the playoffs 16 times. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. This time between the tackles, not a whole lot there for Fitzsimmons as he's corralled on the play by Sean Michael Gouin, who just went right with him. I'll tell you one thing, Gouin slides very nicely to the football. For a defender, he plays off the block really well and then just moves and adjusts to wherever the play is.
Getting disengaged from that defensive lineman is the most important thing, but Gouin came in there basically unblocked that time, but had his head up and was able to move laterally down the play and made a great stop.
Gain of a couple on the play, though. 2nd down and 8. Some indecision in the defensive backfield for Academy. They may burn a timeout, or let's see, we'll have a penalty instead.
Start on white 1. Dead ball. False start. Offense, number 1, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So false start call on the offense. A little indecision in the defensive backfield. They had one DB come up and one cornerback go back, and then they tried to change things up. Meanwhile, Kentrell Reinhardt turned upfield too soon.
5 penalties so far on Reedy for 30 yards in this game, Randy. Those are self-inflicted wounds like we've talked about before.
And one thing with the freshman, too, so many times the physical part of the game you can adjust to, but it's the mental aspect of the game that sometimes takes just a little bit longer. But Reinhardt has done a fabulous job.
And the best part about freshmen?
They become sophomores.
Exactly. You've learned.
2nd down, let's call it Baker's dozen. They need about 13. We're more than halfway through the 2nd quarter. And Reedy taking a long time to get the play, so they may have to burn a timeout. And they do. They pause for the cause. We will too. 5:17 left to go. Reedy trying to move the football. Academy has held them scoreless. 14-0. We'll take a break on Honda's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College, here on the CW Columbus.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name's Bob Turton and I'm an actor here in Los Angeles, California. You can probably tell because of the sunglasses on my face. But before any of that, I was a Columbus Academy football player. That's right, CA class of 2001. I'm so excited to say good luck tonight, Vikes. Get out there and bring home a win against Bishop Ready.
Hey, are you Bob Turton?
Yeah, that's me. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry that happens like all the time.
Is that good, honey?
You can't say that. That blows the whole thing. Anyway, go Vikes. Win.
I love it. Bob has been in movies like Everyone is Doing Great, Happy, and Black Monday. So, Bob, thank you so much for that drop. That was tremendous. Schaefer rolling, tucking, looking, and coming back to the football and trying to corral it. Does he make the catch? He does. What a job by Miller. Pass a little underthrown and just dove back towards the line of scrimmage, was able to catch that ball before it hit the turf and get it across midfield down to the 47-yard line.
Well, that's 6 out of 8 passing tonight for Schaefer. Done a real good job. He was a little shaky at the beginning. Refs right there. The ball looked like it came loose a little bit, but they were right on top of it. But 6 out of 8 throwing the ball so far.
And it'll be 3rd down from the 47. They need to advance it to the 43, so just about 5. They're showing blitz. Did they violate the neutral zone? They did. They encroached, so maybe a first down as a gift to Reedy.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 44, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So mark it to the 42-yard line. By the way, we also had a drop from Akili Taylor, the outstanding Bishop Reedy football player, in his navy whites, but unfortunately the audio and video was a little broken up, and we couldn't use it, so we had one shout-out from each school. So we appreciate these during the season. Some idea that I put together a couple years ago, and the schools have really stepped forward. And Bob, that one was great. Think of the ones we've had this year. We've had Bob, we've had Archie Griffin, we've had Jack Nicholas, Beverly D'Angelo, Mike Matheny, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, Kelvin Booth, the GM of the Denver Nuggets, Jonathan Cooper with the Denver Broncos. Double handoff, flea flicker, back to Schaefer, looking long downfield, and the pass is caught inside the 15-yard line. Razzle dazzle works out as Sage Tilley makes the catch for a big gainer.
Well, that time everybody in the defensive secondary gets caught looking into the backfield, wondering if it's a running play. That's very difficult for those defenders to be able to come up with. Great execution. Flea flicker play. Wide open, great throw inside the 10-yard line. And Bishop Reedy is in business.
Reinhardt tossed that like it was a double play ball, 34 yards on the gain, and we've got an official's timeout. Now Academy's going to burn a timeout. Academy takes their first timeout, so each team still has 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half, and Reedy is some razzle-dazzle, showing some offensive life. And, Jeff, how often can that be a catalyst when you run some wide plays, some little trick play, and all of a sudden you find your footing?
Yeah, it's funny. You practice these plays all week, but rarely does a coach have the fortitude to be able to step up and call those kinds of plays in a game situation. And I can tell you, when the play call comes in, normally everybody's kind of looking at each other in the huddle going, is he serious? We're going to really do this?
Watch the eyes. If they go big, something big is coming up. Stay tuned for the Capital City Concrete halftime show. We're putting the Ohio Education Association Education Spotlight on 2 special principals from Columbus Academy and Bishop Reedy, plus scores from around Central Ohio. That's all coming up in the Capital City Concrete halftime show. Get a beautiful new concrete driveway by calling Capital City Concrete 614-371-9886 or visiting capcityconcrete.com. Speaking of concrete, solid play by both of these teams in week number 5. 2 Division 5 powers. Who says small schools can't play big-time football? These two have proven that they can. First down and goal now for the Silver Knights from the 8-yard line. Under 4 minutes left to go as they try to cut the margin in half here with a score.
How about this running football team with Caleb Schaefer, 7 out of 9 for 92 yards passing.
Booting, looking, and throwing it out of the back of the end zone. Saw nothing there and decided to toss it away. You always wonder, too, what coaches will do. Do you use wristbands or signals? Or a lot of the times, though, too, with Reedy, too, if you're near the sidelines, Coach Schaefer will say, hey, another guy named Schaefer, come over and see me, and we'll talk along the sidelines. Coach Schaefer, by the way, Dr. Michael, is also not only the offensive coordinator, but co-defensive coordinator as well, too.
That's a big job.
Yeah. A guy that had a great collegiate career, too. And he coached at Davenport North and graduate of Toledo. Played in the Arena League for a couple of years for the 43-year-old. Second down and goal from the 8. Around the left side. Reinhardt tries to stiff arm. Doesn't work. And a flag on the play as Belisari made the hit. Reinhardt has not gotten up yet.
Yeah, it looks like he got up in the face mask that time. Inadvertent as he tried to make the tackle. That'll take it half the distance to the goal line, and it'll create a first down situation and goal. Let's hear the call by the official.
This entire crew, by the way, is mic'd so they can communicate with each other. Here's Todd.
Face mask, defense, 5-yard penalty or half the distance. Second down.
So second down and goal from the 3. Take a look.
Watch real closely here. You can see Drake coming up. There's the grab. Again, an inadvertent situation, but once you get your hand in the grill, it's hard to hide it.
What does that feel like?
That is not good. I mean, for either party. Number one, getting your hand in that face mask is tough on the hand, but for the running back, tough to get free.
As you get to play defense in that shot. Power set that time. Fitzsimmons, does he break the goal line? Waiting for a call. Yes, touchdown. Touchdown. Silver Knights as they get the score Another Ramos Roofing touchdown. For a free roof inspection, text or call 614-761-7663. As Fitzsimmons takes it in for a touchdown. That is his 7th on the campaign.
That's a heavy set with a bunch of linemen over there on the right-hand side. And one of the things that they do is they bring in an additional lineman and put a number 32 jersey on him to be able to block in the backfield. It created a lot of push. Easy score.
And that, by the way, 32 would be Aiden Montgomery. Extra point time for O'Connell is up and good. And the margin been cut in half now, as we said, 14-7. The tally in this one, as Bishop Ready, to their credit, Jeff said, what can work? Well, going to the outside can, so let's try to mix it up, stretch out that defense, and make them guess a little bit, and that's exactly what happened on that drive.
You know, what's surprising, though, is coming into this football game, Caleb Schaefer, 27-44, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Passing has not really been the forte of this football team, but I think what they've recognized, Randy, like many coaches, you got to take what the defense gives you, and right now Academy is saying, we're not going to let you run the ball down your throat, but they are allowing themselves to be a little bit soft on the edges.
But also, based on his numbers, you can tell he's an efficient passer when he does throw the football as well, too, with 1 touchdown and no picks so far. That's the one thing, too, when you look at it for Academy. They've been a very efficient offensive team, too, but they haven't created a whole lot of turnovers. They want their defense to do a little bit better in that regard, and that time they watch Brady take it down the field. 9 plays, 66 yards for the touchdown, took 3:58 off the clock. And we stand now at 14-7. Remember, Columbus Academy had the option. They deferred, so the Vikings would get the ball to start the second half. O'Connell has it teed up at the 40. Line drive kick, and we have whistles before the kick. We do. We have a flag. Did somebody leave early, perhaps? Maybe doing this again. In this case, by the way, the referee doesn't come back and have to announce it some 70 yards away.
Penalty against the Silver Knights, offside.
So we'll march it back 5. Can you imagine a kickoff if you made the referee march some 70 yards down the field?
They'd be gassed.
You need a golf cart.
There'd be a whole lot of guys that wouldn't want to wear that white cap.
Our officials tonight, by the way, are in excellent condition. Excellent condition. You ever think about officiating?
You know, at times, Randy, doing these games, I've thought about the idea, boy, you know, what a lot of fun that would be. And I thought about how many times I criticized the officials, and I think I better stay right where I am.
That's right. It is a lonely job sometimes. But boy, we're so honored to have some of the best officials in the country right here in the Buckeye State. More of a high pooch kick, and the return's going to start from the 21. Boy, a gliding head start for Jenkins. He's up across the 35. Oh, he got drilled at the 39-yard line. He got planted right there along the far side of the field. And now Academy gets it back, and for the first time they've given up a touchdown. We'll see what Reedy can do on defense as Jenkins with a nice return.
Yeah, gonna come out of the game, get a little rest over there. Jenkins, a return specialist. Watch here as he turns it up in field. Problem was he got himself up in the air, and at that point in time you are defenseless. And good tackle made on the special teams.
By Jaden McGee, one of the outside linebackers for the Silver Knights. So 1st and 10 Vikings from the 39-yard line. Power to the top of the set. A little misdirection in the backfield. And look at the escapism back there. You actually had a crossing of Jameses in the backfield, if you will, because that was Carson went one way and the handoff went to Carter James, and he got the gain up to just about the 41-yard line, picks up 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Boy, if you're Reedy defensively, you'd love to make a stand. If you're Academy, you'd love a late score and get the ball back to start the second half.
Absolutely, Randy. They want to take this all the way down to 0 and have it end with a score before they go in at halftime. Good run that time by Carter James. Looked like a loss of 2 or 3, able to get a couple on the play.
Jared Kaboy, who we talked about in the open. You heard Miles talk about his story. Little toss. This is Belisari trying to get to the outside. The defense strings it out and lost his helmet on the play because, boy, that was solid defense by the entire team. But the guy you saw featured in the OEA spotlight, Jason Gardner, got whatever he could, which included the helmet of Mr. Belisari. 14 battles, 14.
You can see this play was kind of screwed up at the beginning. They had trouble with the snap, and it made it late getting the ball out to Belisari. You can see the helmet going off right there. And the play becomes dead at that point when the helmet goes off of the ball carrier. And Belisari will have to check out of the game for one play.
He will miss one. And Jake Kolodny will check in. He'll go wide of the top, a triad set to the far side of the formation. Ruby straight back to throw. Has time, now thinks about tucking it, running it, got up to the 45-yard line, and that is it. Shy of the first down. Good job by that defense for the Silver Knights to help make the stick on the play, including Kaysen Abbott. Here's a story. The Will linebacker, 5'9", 155, and number 15 is just a freshman.
There are two freshmen starting on that defensive side for Bishop Ready tonight. 88, Jaden McGee, who made that tackle on special plays. And then, as you mentioned, Randy, another in that secondary, or in the linebacker spot.
So always have to watch when Ruby is the punter, because he's also the quarterback this time. We'll boot it. And the return from the 22. Short side of the field, and a flag on the play. It's going to bring it back a little bit as Miller on the return. Dalton took it back some 8 yards, but a hanky at the 28.
Dalton Miller returns the punt. Flag on the play.
1:41 left to go. If you're the Silver Knights, you're not happy that you're losing right now, but Jeff, you're sitting a lot prettier than you were just about 10 minutes ago.
Well, this thing was starting to get out of hand.
Block on the back, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
In the first quarter, Randy, this was getting out of control. It didn't look like Bishop Ready was going to be able to move the ball at all, but their defenses come out and made a couple of plays, and most importantly, their field position has improved dramatically in the second quarter.
And you're seeing, too, that the hybrid offenses you see in high school football now. Jeff, back in the old days, if you could only do one thing and they shut you down, you were pretty much dead. So that's why high school offenses are so multiple now. And Coach Schaefer's done a great job with his team, changing things up to find out what would work for them. And they've been able to move the football and get a score. Now they start their drive from back of their own 18-yard line. They're coming near side. Student body left, and they'll just bull their way out to around the 22-yard line. That time on the carry is Miller. So Dalton Miller takes it around the end and gets a short gain. And we're under 90 seconds left to go. That's his fourth carry on the season. Last year he had one catch for 8 yards. That's the thing. You know, when you lose starters in these smaller schools, in essence, you lose one guy, you lose two starters, because as we mentioned for Academy, you got 8 guys that are two-way starters.
Now, if Academy can get a good stop here, they probably want to use one of those two remaining timeouts.
Schaefer rolling, looking, gunning, has his man. Pass is complete out across the 30-yard line. And the catch is made on the play by Miller, who returns the punts, makes catches. And again, another youngster out there in Dalton Miller, just a sophomore. But there's a hanky, and it's coming back. It looks like a hold.
Again, the penalties mounting up against Bishop Ready here in the first half. That was the first down play.
Mr. Spencer will come our way.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Randy, as you know, Reedy, without a true home field, plays their home games all at the Fortress Obetz. Great facility. Yeah, terrific facility for high school football.
Takes a while to get to the top for you, I know.
It does.
It's a bit of a hike. But what a great sight line you have of pretty much all of Obetz from there, too. Steve Adams and the crew do a great job running that facility. So mark it back inside the 10-yard line, back to the 6-yard line. And a timeout going to be taken with 58 seconds left to go. You're looking at a second down and about a 24 right now.
Timeout, Bishop Ready.
So what you said might come true. Academy might try to see what they can do on the next couple of downs and maybe burn timeouts and look for a short field. Share your excitement surrounding the 2021 high school football season with ABC6. You can chime in right now by using your phone to scan the QR code on the screen to upload and share your exciting pictures. It's a quick, easy, and convenient way to join in on the fun surrounding high school football this fall. Check it out. You QR much there, sir?
Absolutely.
You do?
Absolutely.
You have to do that for a lot of menus at restaurants now.
I understand. You know, we were joking before the game with the crew up here in the press box about the struggles Ohio State had last weekend with their new electronic access to the game, or in other words, we don't have any idea how to get you in here. My daughter, however, was able to get in with her Apple Watch. So
Really?
think about how technology has gone, where she was able to use the electronic ticket on her Apple Watch to be able to go to the scanner, and she got in like that. So there is a hope that it will eventually work.
She couldn't just throw out the name, my dad is Jeff Logan?
23 for the Silver Knights.
She did not.
Okay. And, wow, look at that play along the far side, but it falls incomplete as intended for Sage Tilley. So now 3rd down and 23.
Yeah, that kills the clock again, and that's going to give an opportunity for the Academy Vikings possibly to get the ball with a little bit of time left. 3rd down and a long way to go, 20-plus yards, and there's another timeout.
Take a look at the far side of the field now, and Schaefer goes back and tries to get the ball to Miller and pops it up and got his fingers on it. Make that Tilley.
Yeah.
And his feet must have been
the official said he was bobbling the ball at the time that he did cross the out of bounds. There you see the call by the official. Good call.
That would be the call on the far side of the field by your line judge. And the thing that gets me is, too, the presence of mind of these kids to be able to try to control the ball and know exactly where you are in the field. Jeff, as a running back, you spend a lot of your time between the tackles, but wide receivers, have to have inherently in their head a knowledge of where that sideline is and what they have to do. And in high school football, obviously, 1 foot is all you need to stay in bounds and make the catch. But it's got to be difficult, especially when you look at these squads with freshmen and sophomore wideouts all over the place.
You think of the speed and all the people and know that somebody's going to hit you as soon as you get the football, too. You got to be ready for that. And the other thing that wide receivers do that people don't understand is they go downfield, they are actually reading the defense and making their cut decisions, not based upon the way the play was called, but the way the defense is actually playing in the secondary.
3rd down and forever. Showing blitz. They'll keep it on the ground, and they'll get it out to around the 7-yard line. Do you burn another timeout if you're Academy?
Absolutely. They've got to take that timeout.
With 48 seconds left to go.
They got E.J. Jenkins back there returning punts. They've come close also on punt block early in this football game. So I would expect the Academy Vikings to sell out on this one, go after him.
Well, fans, the Buckeyes look to bounce back big tomorrow when Tulsa visits the show, and they'll visit the shoe as well, too. And the football fever is back with the best pregame tradition in what is shaping up to be an important game. Join Clay Hall, Rodney Dunnigan, and a roster of Buckeye Brain Trust tomorrow starting at 11 on ABC6. I picked a score of 35-28 last week. You knew that, right?
I'm sure you did, but I'm guessing you had Ohio State.
I had Ohio State winning 35-28.
I thought it was going to go that direction.
I did have the correct score. I did have the wrong team winning as well, too.
That's like having a winning lottery ticket with one correct number.
Well,
they're all the same. They're all losers.
I have to tell you this, though, too. My son, covered the track and field tryouts for the Olympics. So he brought me back a green and yellow Oregon shirt. He said, "Daddy, you wearing that shirt?" I said, "Never again."
Not a chance.
Evan O'Connell back deep in his own end zone and booms one. Jenkins looking at that one sail over his head, hit at the 38-yard line, scooped it up at the 30, gives ground to the 24. He's like in a different time zone now. Tries to reverse his field across the 40 and going to be brought down at the 38-yard line. What a booming punt just in the air alone. Figure he got that off 1 yard deep in the end zone. He had that ball in the air 63 yards. He averages 40.7. You needed a big punt if you were the Silver Knights, and you got it from Evan O'Connell right there.
Well, they've talked about the strength of that leg. It's a kind of a rugby kick. Is out there, not only got some air under it, but it went a long way. That's going to create an opportunity for return, but E.J. Jenkins eventually ran out of friends.
That ate about a third of what was the remaining clock here in the first half. They'll spread it out now with 4 wideouts and a tight end. And Ruby looking for that middle screen, doesn't develop, will tuck and go. 40, 45, glides to midfield, slides into second base at the 46. Remember, a first down will stop the clock while they move the chains as well, too. 20 seconds right now. Do you spike it? Nope. Going to throw it and dump it out to Carson James.
Get out of bounds.
The 35 to the 33, maybe the 32-yard line with 8 seconds left to go.
Yeah, they're going to have to spike it here, Randy. Big mistake not getting out of bounds down there, though. That's a freshman mistake.
And the clock will wind again with 6, 5, Whoops. Ruby. Is that a completed pass? I believe it is. To himself inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He was open. He called his number. Move on. And that will end the first half. And a nice bounce back by Reedy. But Academy with 2 early scores, Jeff, and they make those stand. And at the break, the home team up 14-7 in this one.
Yeah, very impressive what Columbus Academy was able to do early in this football game. And Bishop Reedy, when they felt the thing was slipping away, they were able to put their foot on the brakes. So really good job by Bishop Reedy by not panicking out there on the football field, trusting the process, trusting the coaches, and coming back to where we've got a whale of a football game here, 14-7 at the half.
Yeah, Reedy able to spread it out, but the 2 quick strikes early on looked very good for the Vikings. Let's go down to Miles Harris with the head coach of Columbus Academy.
Thank you, Randy. Now, Coach Miller, really strong performance there in your first quarter by your offense. What was able to work out so well for you guys?
The run game was clicking. We got some seniors that want to move the ball on the ground. They're doing a great job just running. Carter James, Drake Belisari, Ruby's orchestrating the show back there, and we got a good line. So we need to continue to move the ball on the ground, and our hats off to our defense. They did a heck of a job, especially early on.
Now, Reedy's really good at running the ball as well. What was your defense able to do to kind of slow them down there in that first half?
They're gang tackling. We use great technique, alignment, use our hands to get off blocks and gang tackle.
Coach, good luck to you in the second half. Thank you very much. Randy, good stuff.
Our Capital City Concrete halftime show just around the corner. What a game we have in week number 5. Academy leads Reedy 14-7. We'll take a break. And a reminder, this is Honda's Friday Night Rivals presented by Columbus State Community College right here on the CW Columbus.
Gentlemen, the Bishop Reedy High School Band is the pride of the Silver Knights. The group is led onto the field by band director Greg Lewis, with assistance from Kate Montgomery and Chris Kulo. Tonight, the band will be marching and playing TV Review. Up first from the 1983 hit show featuring characters like Hannibal, Face, Murdoch, and B.A. Baracus, better known as Mr. T, the A-Team theme song.
And welcome to the halftime show, the Capital City Concrete halftime show. I'm Miles Harris. Now, all season long, the Ohio Education Association has been teaming up with the CW Columbus and putting the education spotlight on outstanding teachers as well as administrators. Now, tonight we're actually taking a look at principals from both schools and how they're actually helping out both their schools and students throughout these trying times.
A tale of 2 schools, a tale of 2 principals. One is entering his first year as principal. The other, for more than 3 decades, she's been a steady hand, helping to steer the ship at Columbus Academy.
I came to Columbus Academy in 1987. What's not to like? This is the ideal job to have. It's exciting to be part of education and helping our youngsters.
Dedication, a passion for education, keeps Columbus Academy's middle school dean of students, Susan Carter, excited about education. But for her, Columbus Academy is a family affair.
I have two sons. My oldest son entered Academy in 1983 before I started teaching here. And my youngest son entered in 1987 with me as teaching. And he's actually back here and is a 6th grade social studies teacher and a coach.
Being a leader starts by working closely with kids. Even though her schedule is full and her duties are many, her greatest joy remains advising students and even still teaching every day. Sharing a classroom with someone who probably understands her best, her son.
It's absolutely wonderful. I would hope he would say the same. It's a pleasure, and I enjoy seeing the way he connects with kids.
A lifetime of memories about the Viking way of life, inspiring kids to chase their dream, and creating a legacy for future generations is just one of the many reasons Columbus Academy's Susan Carter is in the Ohio Education Educator Spotlight.
One thing that's really rewarding is to have past graduates come back and let me know that they're teaching social studies. And some of that could be from, they said, being in my class.
Matthew Brickner is no stranger to Bishop Brady High School.
So this is my 20th year here at Bishop Brady High School.
But this year marks a fresh start as principal, taking over at a time of uncertainty for students, parents, and administrators. Matthew leans on what he knows. The only way to lead is the Reedy way.
The collection of the student body, the collection of the staff, being able to be here all in person as we started the school year off, having gone through what we went through last year, but to be able to gather here as a community with one student body and really get an opportunity to gather and to make sure that school is operating, the school is doing what we want it to do.
A combination of familiarity, family, and faith, helping to keep all who walk these halls focused on what is most important.
Being a Catholic high school, it's a big part of our lives, the spiritual formation of all of our students, and being able to help them grow closer to God and grow closer in their faith will help them along the way as they face different challenges in their life. It helps get them a better relationship with their families at home as well.
And a primetime matchup on the CW Columbus is creating the excitement and school pride for all of Central Ohio to see.
Friday night rivals is a great thing. Bishop Brady High School, the football team is excited to get out there and showcase, all the hard work that they put in this summer and leading up to this game here against Columbus Academy. We're really excited about the opportunity. The students are buzzing in the hallways and planning their themes to what they're going to wear and what the student body is going to be looking like. So we're excited about the opportunity to play on Friday night rivals.
Now don't go anywhere because we have more from the Capital City Concrete halftime show, including score updates from games happening throughout Central Ohio. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Capital City Concrete Halftime Show. I'm Miles Harris. We're at this game at Columbus Academy. They're actually leading Bishop Ready 14-7. Now with that score, we want to go ahead and show you some more scores of some of the other games that are happening throughout Central Ohio. Now, before we toss things to break, we want to go ahead and show you some of the great moments happening throughout the country.
And Stevie Thomas breaking into the outside, up the middle. Now it goes Thomas with the Jets. He spins. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. He has scored again.
Here comes the rush. Avoids the rush. Rolling out. Throwing. Deep. He's got a man. Touchdown.
Blake Chapter time going deep. Into double coverage. It's picked off by Trey Rex. Down at the 5. Ball pops loose. And the Jets have it.
Grummer across the middle. Touchdown. Hangs on to it.
Pressure coming, and this one just off the hands. Now intercepted as it went off Roberson's hands, and the pick by the Saints.
They dial up Pence to the end zone. Does he make the catch? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Antlers.
Pass again, going over the top. He's got his man too. It's Cottrell. Does he catch it? Yes, he does. Oh my! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Smith, the ball gets past him, able to contain it, rolls to the right, throws back upfield. He's got his receiver, middle of the field. He's into the end zone for a touchdown.
At the D1 level, McGinnis deep again. They got it again. Oh my goodness!
Avery Sloan this time in a foot race. Sloan to the 20. Puts a move on. Avery Sloan to the 5. He dives.
And welcome back to Hondros Field. We're at halftime of week number 5, and at the break, Academy on top of Brady, 14-7. Glad to have you aboard here on the CW Columbus on the Capital City Concrete Halftime Show. Randy Reinhardt alongside Jeff Logan, and a very entertaining first half. We didn't think it would get to this point because Brady struggled early on, but they found their niche, and Academy with 2 early scores, and they made those stand up.
Yeah, to me, it looked like Academy was going to run away with this game in the first quarter of play, but Brady, on the other hand, found their footing, and I think it was a matter of bad field position, more importantly, in that first quarter. But what's really interesting as we look through that first quarter is how Reedy became a throwing team, and we expected a lot of runs.
Yeah, there was no life between the tackles early on for the Silver Knights. Vikings set sail early, though, with 2 big scores, and that was the difference early on in the first half of the first quarter. It starts with Carter James on the toss there, Jeff, around the corner, takes it in 4 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, it's just a power run. He's able to get the ball up inside, and that made it 7-0. And then Parker Logan is going to take the reception here on the bubble screen, and he's able to work his way downfield, makes a terrific move here to be able to secure the second score.
And you know, Reedy looked for the plays that would work. Nothing was there between the tackles, so they opened it up with pass plays on the outside, and then a little razzle-dazzle, a flea flicker downfield to Sage Tilley, takes the ball inside the 10-yard line. That would set up their lone tally in the first half. And their big runner all season has been Brian Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, able to deliver there. Well, that's their power game that you expected to see in this football game. But what's amazing is that Reedy ended up with more passing yards in that first half, as you see the stats, than they had rushing yards, which is not their MO coming into a football game. But congratulations to them for making the necessary adjustments.
Yeah, another key there you see on the stat line is the penalties against Reedy. That really self-destructed them a number of times in the first half. Now, Academy, I don't think they've shown all their cards yet in the first half of those 2 early scores, so I'm sure Robin Miller and company still have something up their sleeve.
Yeah, they've had a couple of opportunities in this game. They had the long pass that Drake Belisari was open. The ball was right there, probably a scoring play, but the ball went incomplete. So they do have the ability to stretch the field as well, and Academy gets that ball at the beginning of the third period.
2 schools with 2 great special teams units as well, too. We saw that from E.J. Jenkins in the first half as well, too. He had 2 punt returns the first 2 times he touched the ball for 43 yards. That in the kicking game could be the difference maker in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely, Randy. We'll have to see what special teams does in the breaks. And I think one of the things that Reedy has to do is to be able to eliminate the penalties, because if you continue to do what they did, it's going to eventually catch up, and it's going to cost you the football game.
They're not playing like 2-2 and 1-3. They're both playing like at least 3-1 here in the first half. And at the break, 14-7, the tally in this one, as Academy leads Reedy. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment. You are watching Honda's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College here on the CW Columbus. 14-7 at Hondros Field as we start the second half. To the sidelines we go, and Miles Harris. Miles.
Randy, thank you. Coach Schaefer here with me now. We saw a little bit of razzle-dazzle there towards the end of that first half for a coach. So I got to ask, you can tell us, are there any more tricks up your sleeve heading up to the second half?
There's a lot of other things we need to do better than worry about the razzle-dazzle, but we're going to keep fighting. We play much better than we did in the first half to have a chance against a really good Columbus Academy team.
Now, one player in particular that does get the ball rolling for you guys a lot is Fitzsimmons. He hasn't really got things going here early. What's that going to take for him to get going here in the second half?
We need to play better. We need to play better up front. Columbus Academy is doing a phenomenal job of stuffing our interior run game, and we got to play better. It's on us. We got to play better.
Coach, good luck to you in the second half. Thank you very much. Yep, Randy, back up to you.
Miles, thank you very much. And right now, folks, we're going to take a quick look at the Bishop Brady Marching Band, who performed earlier tonight at halftime. This peak sponsored by Music Go Round Marching Band Sound. Check out any of their locations at 2630 Bethel Road and Gahanna inside the Stone Ridge Plaza. That's off to both of these small schools who can still make big music with smaller bands, and we're very appreciative of their efforts tonight, and they're appreciative, too, of being on the CW Columbus. So both schools kind of light up, Jeff, when they get this opportunity. And I don't know what it was like when you were playing 8,000 years ago, but did you have this kind of opportunity for exposure?
No, we really didn't. Even in the college game, Randy, at Ohio State in the 70s, the big game that was on TV, obviously, was the last one of the season against the team up north. And maybe you got another game in regular season that was in prime time. But this is a real treat in terms of being able to present this at the high school level.
All right, if you were Columbus Academy and Coach Miller, what would you like to do early in the second half? You're going to get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, again, a lot of it has to do with field position, Randy, and I think what they got to do is they got to get Drake Belisari more involved in the offense. I know that Carter James was pretty solid in terms of what he did, but Academy needs to get him involved.
Before this contest, Miles Harris talked about Jared Kaboy, 6'2", 200, and a junior. Defensive end, number 26. This young man was given the game ball last week after the win over Buckeye Valley. In the last 6 months alone, he has survived cancer and treatment and then COVID as well, too, and came out and performed. He's done it with a lot of flair. Last year, 13 solos, 13 assists. He says, you know what? Here's his quote. I'm not looking for stats. I'm looking to get better, and I'm looking to help my team. And his presence alone was enough for Coach Schaefer to bring the team together after the Buckeye Valley victory and say, if this kid can do what he's done in the past, there's no stopping us. And I think that says volumes for not only the leadership of Coach Schaefer, but also for what a young man, just a junior, Jared Kaboy, could do. Makes your challenges seem a lot smaller now, doesn't it?
Very emotional, and I know that the team really was excited to have that young man back on their football team, and he got his first action of the year last week in the game, and Coach said, win or lose, they're going to give him the game ball, and that's certainly what high school sports is all about.
Did you ever get the game ball?
Oh, yeah. There were opportunities.
Did you keep them?
Yeah, I did, and especially the ones in college. When that happened, that was quite a treat to be able to be presented a game ball in front of your peers.
So it'll be Academy getting the ball to start the second half, and we saw a lot of good things from Academy in the first 24 minutes. I'm impressed, too, with Mr. Ruby at quarterback. I thought Henry did a good job of running the show. Good arm. You talked about the long pass play opportunity he had to Belisari in that first half that should have yielded probably a touchdown, but great performance by him. Good job by their offensive and their defensive line. You talk about winning the battle in the trenches. In the first half, it was the Vikings. You would think with a name that sounds very aquatic, but they controlled the ground in the first 24 minutes. And there's the boot, and the return is going to start from the 5-yard line. And up to the 20. Never stop when you're in the middle of the field like that, because that's what's going to happen. 15 yards on the return, and that's where Academy will start in the second half as they get the ball there. And on the return is big number 8, the guy that will stay in there, E.J. Jenkins, as a wide receiver. So offensively, it'll be Academy looking to go the length of the field, a team that is 1-3 on the campaign with one victory, and that was over Kip. And actually, when they beat Kip, that was a weather-delayed game. They started on Friday. It wound up ending on Saturday. So here's your home appliance solution. First down of the second half for Ruby and Company.
Also in on that last ball.
Little toss, and it is James. He'll pick up about 4. Again, defense trying to ride him out of bounds. Use that sideline as the 12th man, but a nice game by number 9 on the play, who came into this contest with 42 carries, 179 yards.
Cullen Dent, the outside linebacker, making the play for Bishop Reedy, number 82, into the boundary side. And Young man that's got an interception for a TD return already this season at that linebacker spot.
So after the hit by Cullen Dent, another famous name in Brady history, it'll be 2nd down and 7. And look at that scrum will push the pile out across the 25 to around the 27-yard line as James on the carry again. A guy that really, another guy I think that by running track, Jeff, helped his elusiveness and not only his speed. We talk about track and so often people go, oh, well, then it just increased his speed. Well, it does that, but I think it increases your vision as well, too, on the football field.
Well, and I think I'll just put a vote in there for multi-sport athletes that are out there performing at the high levels. Certainly, whatever sport you're playing helps the other sports you participate in.
3rd down and a couple now to move the 6 again. And can they do it? And the surge across the right side will get the first down, but the hanky is tossed at around the 28-yard line. So we'll see what this is about as Mr. Spencer, a.k.a. Todd Spencer, leads the crew. And he will check and open his mic and give us the following.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So they tackle by the handlebar. It's the second time it's been done in this contest.
We talked about 8 penalties in the first half for Bishop Ready. Now, they already had the first down there, but this is going to add 15 more to the end of the play. And once again, Bishop Ready being victimized by their own mistakes.
It's 9 penalties now for 75 yards. So 1st and 10 from the 46 as they approach midfield to the Vikings. Offensive coordinator for Academy is Billy Vaccarillo. Was the offensive coordinator at Franklin Heights for a couple of seasons. And off the left side, nice little turn of the shoulder there by Belisari, and the first hit is not going to bring him down. We talked about his motor that constantly runs. He keeps going there and gets another first down before he's knocked down on the play by JT Katina. Comes up from the secondary.
Well, he does a great job scooting to be able to find that open hole. There's the inside cut. Going to put his foot in the dirt right there and work himself upfield. And again, this is a young man. We've talked about his motor, high energy, and very fast.
Needed 10, picked up 11. 1st and 10 from the 43. And Belisari's got it again. He got nailed right at the line of scrimmage. Great job by the middle of the defense. First guy I see coming from the bottom of the pile is big number 52, Marvin Sutton. Sutton's a guy that goes 6'2", 260, and he's all of that. He's a senior, 2 solo tackles so far this year, but a guy that also starts in the offensive line and celebrates his birthday today. Happy birthday, Marvin. 2nd and 10 from the 43. In motion is Belisari. Got away from the initial surge, and I think that was Mr. Sutton who thought he had him at the line of scrimmage again.
Yeah, that time we talked about be your own blocker, make people miss on that perimeter, and again, nice little inside cut by Drake Belisari, and that's one of the things that as a running back you certainly have the advantage over one of those D linemen. You never want to give them a straight shot on you. If you can put a little bit of sugar out there and make them take it, you can find yourself a hole.
Kaboy helping to make the hit on that play for the Silver Knights. 3rd down. We'll call it a half dozen with 9:15 left to go deep in Reedy territory. Off the left side, there's the gap. There's the first down, the spin move, and James has enough down to the 29-yard line. And nothing fancy on this drive so far by Academy.
I think Robin Miller challenged his football team. When we get this ball to start the second half, we're going to come back. We're going to pin our ears back. We're going to run that ball, hit them in the face, and try and make something happen. And that's exactly what they've done. This looks like the Vikings in the first quarter.
On this first down play, they push, they surge, they get it inside the 28 to around the 27. James on the carry. A late move by Tommy Jockus wide to the top of that formation, and he got there set just in time, and they hand it off to James for a short gain, a 2nd down and 8. So far it's been Reedy able to stop him on 1 or 2 plays of the 3-play set, but there's one play that springs for about 7 or 8 yards and gets a first down.
Yeah, good pursuit by the linebacker, number 34, Connor Moore, leading tackler on this football team for Bishop Reedy.
Has learned to become more of a vocal leader with the injury to Zach McAndrew. I thought he was going to bite the ankle there for a second, too. He held on, didn't let go, and then that time it is Belisari who gets it inside the 26 to 25. Is there something genetic with the Belisaris that make them so good?
Yeah, there is a lot to that, man. You got to have good genes to be able to play this game, and the Belisari family certainly famous for that. But look at the extra effort. This play should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, but Belisari not going down, able to pick up an extra 3 yards. Certainly, I think, Randy, 4-down territory for this football team.
As they mark the ball inside the 25 of the 24-yard line. Ruby Little boot action to his left, looking, going deep into the end zone. Double coverage is there and deflected and goes out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, it took too long to be able to throw the football. He had him open early, but the quarterback, Henry Ruby, just could not locate the receiver. Turns his back to the field right here. He doesn't see him when he comes open right there early. Great shot by our camera crew in the end zone. If that ball had been thrown a little bit earlier, right now you got to get rid of that football. They've got to score.
That's Evan O'Connell, who's more than just a kicker on the coverage back in the secondary. So 4th down now and about 5 for a first down. Field goal attempt would be about 41, so probably out of the range of Pop and company. So they'll go for it here on a 4th and 5. This time they go with 2 wide to the top of the set. And Ruby rolls that way and tucks and looks for the gap. Can he get there? He's going to be brought down near the 20-yard line. Reedy looks like they have stopped him just shy of the sticks.
This was a running play the entire time by the quarterback. It's a bootleg, trying to make it look like a pass play. But good defense again. You gouged them, but you didn't break them. Speaking of the Reedy defense, up inside, trying to make a play. Good job, good pursuit. And Reedy's going to take over on downs.
Devon Malone helping to make the hit on the play, staying with it as he moves outside. Big number 55 flowing to the football, grabbing him around the waist and knocking him down about a yard shy of the stick. So 1st and 10 now for the Silver Knights. Their first possession here in the second half. And this time they get a gainer from Reinhardt right up the middle, so he'll take it off the left side and across the hash, and that's a first down gainer that's nice because Cantrell has a gain across the 25, but historically in the first half, Silver Knights do not get a lot of plus yardage on first downs. Coach Schaefer looking on, the 43-year-old mentor. This team historically in the playoffs, state championship for them back in '83, a couple for Academy in the past. Touch on that when they have the ball again. They'll keep it on the ground and push and push. Ooh, that was an upper body slam.
That ball came loose.
It did, but was the whistle already blowing? Yes, the whistle had blown a couple times already. In fact, the head linesman had already blown it here on this side.
Boy, look at the celebration underneath. That was Sean Michael Guin had the ball, and he was showing the official, but they had blown the whistle. The ball was dead. See if you can, I don't know if we'll have any sound on this one to be able to tell when that ball comes loose
and that's
when it was blown.
You know, Reinhardt on the carry, but you've got to keep that ball inside. And Reinhardt, with the second extra effort, moves the ball away and creates a wing instead of having that ball tucked inside and was vulnerable to getting it punched out. So let's make it 3rd down and a couple, 3rd and 2. Showing blitz from the middle. And they're coming on the roll and the quick out pattern, and the pass is caught. It is complete. And Miller makes the catch at the 38-yard line. That is a long throw and a tough play to complete on 3rd down.
Well, they love to run that flood pattern out into the short side of the field. They're going to bring the quarterback on the roll. They will not throw out of the pocket. He is always going to roll the pocket, come out there, throws the ball high, not going to be picked off.
Wow.
And a little bit of a late hit out of bounds, I thought. There's the catch. You only need one. I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't get a flag there at the tail end.
So 1st and 10 now for the Silver Knights, down by 7 from their own 38-yard line, halfway through quarter number 3. Miller in motion. Penetration is there and brought down. Shooting through was Parker Logan coming from his linebacker slot. Read that one perfectly, unblocked, and makes the hit for a loss.
Now, Parker Logan has made big hits in this football game. On the defensive side, he already has a scoring touchdown, but that was a read the entire way. You can tell he has seen that play on tape before. He had his read done. He shot through the hole, able to make the huge play.
He had 1 tackle for loss coming into this contest. He's got 2 in this game. He marks the ball back with his hit at the 33-yard line with 5.5 left to go. 2nd down and long now. Are you proud of your namesake out there?
Awfully proud. Nice job.
And watch what you say about Guin, because that's his father there to your right running the scoreboard. So he's got a quick left, too. 2nd down. We'll call it 15. Screen back the other way. With 2 blocks, he can go, and look out. 40.
All for naught. It's coming back.
Coming back. Flag on the far side of the field. Boy, that's difficult to deal with when you're pulling out there and trying to decide what to do, and the flag rests at the 35-yard line. And Todd Spencer and company will bring it back.
2 offensive linemen out there on this throwback screen, and they're going to have a block in the back. Remember the old days when they called it clipping?
In there. Blocking the back. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So mark it back to the 25-yard line. Take a look one more time.
Really good execution of the play. You can see blockers out there, but clearly a block in the back. I don't know that the defender, quite frankly, would have been able to make the play either, Randy. So it was an ill-advised block for sure.
Tilly had the ball downfield. The problem is, too, if you're the lineman, too, as the defender comes up and turns himself sideways, you've already committed.
You're in no man's land.
Schaefer rolling near side this time. Again, he likes that out pattern, and the pass this time incomplete. That's a dangerous pass. It's hard to complete. Style points if you can make it happen, but it doesn't seem like it's worth all the effort as the pass incomplete by Miller, but he caught the ball out of bounds.
Well, clearly a soft area in that defense they're trying to exploit. One thing that I think from a timing standpoint you've got to be better at if you're Reedy is getting the ball out a little bit sooner.
Plus there's not a whole lot of yak after that as well, too. I mean, you catch that ball going out of bounds. Take a look one more time. You're in the backfield.
There's the throw. A lot of air underneath it, and a good call by the official right on top of it. Coverage on the play by Drake Belisari, the outside linebacker.
Third down and forever. They need about 23. Running play. Gun downfield and deflected. Pass incomplete. That was Jenkins who got a paw on it coming up from his cornerback slot.
Boy, that was really a good play. Yeah, it was Carter James, actually, from the strong safety spot, number 9.
It was James, yeah.
Watch James from that strong safety, reads the eyes of the quarterback, gets his paw out there. Other than that, I don't know that they would have had enough for the first down for sure, Randy, but that's a whale of a defensive play by the strong safety, Carter James.
They need another 10 yards after the catch, so Evan O'Connell on the punt, standing back at his own 13. Jenkins back at his own 40. Good snap, gets it off. And just kicks it out of bounds to the far side of the field. They don't want any part of Jenkins returning. 4:47 left to go, third quarter. Academy, the home team, up by 7 in week number 5 of Honda's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus.
The ball went out of bounds. The punt went out of bounds at the Silver Knights 44, where it will be first down Vikings. TV timeout.
At the end of the game, we'll be selecting the Zombies Bay player of the game for their haunting performance on the field tonight. This fall, Fear has a new name, Zombies Bay. Check out their 4 haunted houses, 2 scare zones, and plenty of wild rides. Get your tickets at ZoombiesBay.com. Not recommended for children under 13 or Jeff Logan. So, break of the action, 1st and 10. Now they're going to mark the ball out of bounds, Jeff, at the 44-yard line of Reedy, so not the best effort by Mr. O'Connell, and a short field now for the Vikings from the 44.
Now they had a lot of success being able to run the football in that first drive, but unable to cash in.
3 wide to the bottom now in this set for Academy. And this time Ruby will keep. And down to the 42 or maybe the 41-yard line. That is something he can do. He's got the legs, but again, when you're playing Division V football, 1 loss means you lose a couple players. And normally, especially at the skilled position to quarterback, you don't have that much depth. So you run it sparingly.
Just 33 rushes coming into tonight's ball game, but that is their version of a read option where quarterback has the responsibility of pulling the ball if he sees that it's not there. And the problem with it is he has to reverse and bring himself all the way around the other side of the offensive line.
McGee with the hit on the play, 2nd down and 8. Toss, and it goes to James, who accelerates through the gap and takes it inside the 38-yard line. Nice gain on the play. It'll set up a third down with 4:02 left to go in ticking third quarter. As Academy at 1-3, trying to avenge a loss last season to Reedy, and Reedy looking to go 3-2 on the season. We have an official's timeout on the field.
Yep.
So we have a player down.
Looks
number
like
73 on the far side. That's Harold Hacker.
Just a cramping situation over there.
Tackle on that last play by J.D. Katina.
That was Harold Hacker, number 73, that went down.
Officials timeout. Injury on the field.
And we'll pause now for this message.
This fall, fear has a new name. Zambezi Bay. Get tickets if you dare.
I think some better dental hygiene is
I was going to say,
high on the list
trip to the dental office might help.
Does the term floss mean anything to you? Third down play. James gets the gap right side inside the 34 and has enough. As long as he crosses the 34 to get that first down and move the sticks with 3:51 left to go. And we're a long way from picking our player of the game in this contest.
Yeah, really good effort that time by Carter James, who just made the big defensive play, forcing the fourth down. So once again, we've talked about at this level at Division V, guys playing both ways and getting lots of repetitions. And Carter James, 6 foot 205, a senior.
They'll offset the back, send us first down play from the 33-yard line. And off the left side they take it. Inside the 33 to the 32-yard line.
Nick Taberry, number 60. That left guard leading the play. Just a sophomore, 5'11", 200 pounds.
Jake Kolodny that time carrying the ball. He had 15 carries last year for 70 yards. He likes golf, ping pong, math, and he's founder of the Sticker Club. I'd like to join.
Yep. Carson James, the sophomore, coming off the play or off the field.
Second down, gain of 1 down to the 32-yard line. They need 9 more. Coming back around, it's Belisari who directs the blocker, and a flag along the far side of the field as well, too, at the 30-yard line. So we'll see if this one's coming back with 2:45. When in doubt, push your blocker, as he did with Matthew Commissar that time. And Todd Spencer seeing a lot of mic time tonight, and holding the call, and it's coming back. So you're kind of in a lull between the storms
offense,
right now.
Number 5, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Yeah, both teams struggling a little bit when they get themselves in a position to be able to capitalize on some really good offense by making some mistakes. Let's see if we can pick up the hold here.
Repeat second down, second and 16.
Reverse play coming around. And there's the hold right there on the outside. Looked like Parker Logan had a handful of white jersey out there, and that's where the official saw it and threw the flag.
Second down and long now. Need about 17. And Ruby rolling, looking, across the middle, has his man who comes back to the football very nicely. That's Carlin. Carlin trying to get away, gives ground back to the 32-yard line. Boy, we talk about that little curl pattern when you see the football, the quarterback throwing. If you can, you come back a step or two, and he did that to make sure he was the only guy in the vicinity. Got a big gain on the play.
Boy, the amount of time the quarterback spent, though, with his back to the field, to the defense, is a remarkable that he was able to gather himself again and be able to find an open receiver downfield.
Carlin missed last week because of an ankle injury. Now has 4 catches on the year, good for 28 yards. With 1:49 and ticking, it's going to be third down. They need 9 now, close to the original line of scrimmage. Ruby looking, gunning on the out pattern, has a man and lost the football. Dropped the handle at the 21-yard line. Intended on the play for Carlin again.
Yeah, could not have been a better execution by receiver and quarterback. But concentrating on that football all the way in is the key. Good delivery here by Henry Ruby. He throws it right on the spot there, and you could see the head turn of Jake Carlin, and it causes the incompletion.
There's a massive dog roaming the sidelines right now.
I've noticed that. That's got to be part of the Part of the crowd down there. It looks like Hawaiian night. Some kind of tropical night for the student fans down here from Academy.
So 4th down and 9, Jeff. What kind of play are you looking for here?
Certainly not punting. You know, you got to believe that you're going to roll your quarterback, Henry Ruby, out, see if he can make a play.
DeLuca wide of the top to that side, and I think we're going to have a timeout. We've got a flag, though, first. Let's see if they took too long. Did they get a timeout in time? They did not.
Offense, 5 yards, 4th down.
Again, the back judge will hold up his hand with 5 seconds and then count it down. And that time they didn't see it, and they tried to get the timeout.
It probably brings up a punting situation now, Randy. I would be curious to see.
Now, wait. They're trying to give him a timeout as well, too. So let's see what's going on here. They did get the penalty, so they do not have a timeout. So the referee, Todd Spencer, said you did not get a timeout. You got charged the penalty, so if you want a timeout, you can take it. But it hasn't happened yet. So now the clock has been running, from the back judge at least, for the time in between plays. And they're going to go for it on the 4th down and 14. And Ruby back to the throw is going to go long downfield. It has a man in the middle of the field who makes the catch. Oh, my goodness, it takes it in for a touchdown. Just like that, they look long downfield for a Ramos Ruby touchdown. And they get it down to Jenkins for the catch. Jenkins with the touchdown. I'm not sure if there's a breakdown in the defense, but he was wide open, sat down in an open spot at the 10-yard line.
Well, you're in cover 3, which means there's 3 safeties dropping back, covering a third of the field. What you cannot do is let anybody get behind you, and that's exactly what happened there. Blown coverage. And you can see a lot of people going palms up down the field, like looking at each other like, my man, your man, whose man? All I know is there were no white jerseys there, and a great job by Henry Ruby finding that receiver.
Pop is good with the extra point, and all of a sudden where Academy looked a little disjointed and didn't know they didn't get a timeout, they come on the field to run a 4th down and long and take advantage of the Reedy defense. That was a memorable moment, and with that being said, in this contest, let's take a look at another memorable moment.
High school football memories made right here on the CW Columbus.
4th and 16 from the 17. Holtzclaw wants to throw, pressure's on, he's got to get rid of it, throws it up for grabs in the end zone. It's tipped around and incomplete in the end zone, and Olentangy Orange will survive. 18 seconds left to go, and a great job by the defense. And you know, Holtzclaw did what he had to do. Pressure was on, Jeff, so he threw it up there, hoping somebody could make a play. And the Pioneers come up with a big play, and finally hold on a 4th down, and they'll get the ball back.
A delayed blitz, really good defense back there. Great effort by Colin McNay. That's a linebacker back there making the drop. Randy, 21-play drive. Go on top of that.
And what a big play that was. And right now you got Kentrell Reinhardt trying to make a big play, and he gets it out for a nice scan into around the 25-yard line. More about that play in a second. Now down to the sidelines, and Miles Harris. Miles.
Thanks, Randy. Now, we mentioned this earlier before kickoff here, that both these small schools, they have big hearts. And just past the sidelines here, you can actually hear the stands in the crowd. The student section, more particularly, they're going crazy out here, especially after Academy just scored that last touchdown. Now, to break things down more specifically with one specific player, we saw earlier Carter James. He kind of banged his ankle up there in that first quarter during that first drive. But after Jeff had mentioned earlier with that last defensive play and the last couple of series running the ball, he's done a really good job in an ankle. Seems to be doing just fine. Randy.
Thank you very much. On the handoff, 1st down play, they take it off the right side, and a little rugby breaks out, and they get the ball out to around the 29-yard line on the play. So they'll pick up about 4 as they get the gainer out to the 29. Now, I want to go back to that play that we saw from the memorable moment. That was a big stop by Darius Madison to seal the game for Olentangy Orange. They would go on to complete an undefeated record in the OCC Buckeye Conference and went on to avenge a loss to Pickerington North in the first round of the playoffs. So we have so many of those as we're in our 10th year of doing games. So the gain out to the 30, be 2nd and 5. And since now more a sense of urgency for Reedy, Jeff, they were okay when they were down by 1 touchdown, but now down by 2 in the waning moments in quarter number 3 on a 2nd and 5 from the 30. Quick pop in the flat, and you got to remember to catch the football. Intended on the play for Dalton Miller, it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, forward pass, no question about it. Official right on top of it. Ball called dead right away. Good rotation up there. The free safety, Rex Whitney, number 6, reacting to the play, coming up to put himself in a position to make the play. Really impressed, though, with defensive tackle given Mendenhall. You know, from an offensive side, he's on every play out there at the left tackle. There you see him right in the middle of your screen, number 79. He does such a good job in there, disrupting play in the middle.
And more than that, he's a great student athlete and citizen at Columbus Academy. 3rd down and 5. Little boot, a lot of pressure, trying to get away, and throwing it for the far side of the field. Pressure all over him. Miles Friedman came shooting through and wanted to just dance around and do-si-do him down and around the 20-yard line.
Now, I think he was trying to just throw the ball away without having a grounding call here. This play got blown up from the very beginning. Pressure right up the middle by defensive tackle Miles Friedman, number 55. Another guy that they rely upon on both sides of the ball. Look at the effort there by the big guy. 3 and out, Randy. That's a huge get for this Academy defense.
You know, we've talked about the running game so much for these schools, but you got 2 passing touchdowns in this contest for Columbus Academy. There's the boot, and Jenkins watches it hit inside the 30-yard line and trickle out of bounds around the 28-yard line. So the Vikings will get it back late here in quarter number 3. The biggest plays, the biggest schools, the best high school football, and you get to see it first, thanks to First Scores on Fox 28, sponsored by Spectrum. It's your opportunity to know what happened and who shined, only on First Scores on Fox 28 tonight at 10:45. And again, that's only on Fox 28. Did I mention that was only on Fox 28?
I think it's on Fox 28.
It was written 3 times, so I thought I'd say it 3 times. So first down, they're going to mark it officially out at the 29-yard line. 17 seconds left to go. Could we see a healthy dose of running plays here?
Well, they came out the first 2 series, Randy, and they certainly tried to establish the run, and they were successful in being able to do so. Penalty is the only thing that thwarted the first drive.
On the ground it goes, and they'll get it up to around the 34-yard line in the person of James, and that will do it for stanza number 3. A big score late in the 3rd quarter as Ruby on a 4th down play throws it 37 yards to Jenkins, and at the break, 21-7, 4th quarter of week number 5 coming up. This is Honda's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College, right here on the CW Columbus.
As the Buckeyes get ready to take on Tulsa tomorrow, the football fever is back with the best pregame tradition in what is shaping up to be an important game. Join Clay Hall, Rodney Dunnigan, and the roster of Buckeye greats for the football fever tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. on ABC 6.
Ohio Education Association is proud to recognize Central Ohio's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Drake Belisari is on the football, lacrosse, and swim teams for Columbus Academy High School. He is on the MSL first team and an all-state swimmer. Drake is taking honors classes in computer science and has a 3.7 GPA. He's a member of the Art Society Environmental Club and a lacrosse camp instructor. Congratulations to this outstanding Ohio Education Association Scholar Athlete.
And congratulations to Dr. Drake for all he does on and off the field as well, too. These 2 teams are just full of outstanding scholar athletes, and we tip our cap or perhaps take off our helmet to both squads. To start the 4th quarter, a nice gap, and look out, cutting it back and getting across midfield And you know, when you look at him, he's got speed, but boy, he can pound too, because Carter James has a great size frame.
Well, the one thing that Carter James does, and if you're a young running back out there watching his game and saying, how do you improve yourself, I want you to watch how he plants that outside foot right here, boom, and then he gets himself going north and south, accelerating upfield. Only one time in this football game did he flush himself outside and make that mistake. A terrific job that time by Carter James.
He's 6 feet 205, and he runs like it. First down play just across midfield, and Belisari trying to get away, and he cannot, brought down right at the line of scrimmage as he tried to scoot to the outside, but not letting him do anything was big number 55 again for the Silver Knights, and that is Devon Moore. Devon Malone making the hit on the play, so Malone knocks him down right at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, Malone has turned out to be a real headache for that Academy offensive line. They're having a hard time controlling him.
2nd and 10 from the 49. It is James off the right side and finds a little gap to him, maybe the 46-yard line before he falls forward. And right now, if you're Academy, you've got things going your way. You're up by 2 touchdowns, Jeff. You're able to run the ball effectively and drain that clock.
Yeah, 3rd and 7, though. This is the money down for Academy. See if they go back to their quarterback, Henry Ruby. They've used him as a runner. They've used him, obviously, throwing the football. They're going with 3 receivers to the top as well as a tight end to the left side.
And Belisari is one of those receivers way wide to the top, leaving James in the backfield. Little toss, he gets it. He has a gap inside the 45, pushes the pile inside the 40.
Ball loose.
And the ball is free at the end of the play. And there's a device on the field. I think that's just a marker for in case the ball was lost. And they're going to say it's recovered by Academy, so they have the first down. He was down around the 39-yard line. Mendenhall came up with a football at around the 38.
That's the only time that you get an offensive lineman gets to touch the ball. Look at Given Mendenhall. He's all the way downfield, and he's not giving up on the play. He sees the ball come loose, and 79 gets to the bottom of the pile.
Excuse me, did you say he's not given up on the play?
He did not given up on the play.
Right,
that is correct.
First down. James again. This is where his frame can come into play here, because he can pound you with that size inside, and Brady a little worn down and a little tired right now and trying desperately to stop them. And James now over the century mark. He's got 113 yards rushing in this contest.
Yeah, we used to call this leaving a string of pearls behind you. All of those white jerseys, just one after another. And James making short order of that defense.
If you can't get the first down, this is what you want if you're Academy. 2nd down and short. They just need a couple to move the sticks again. And Jenkins, nice little cut inside, trying to find the seam outside, and couldn't get that diagonal. Nearly made something impossible happen there, but got it inside the 15-yard line for a nice gain and another first down.
Well, he's been everything tonight. Be able to return punts to give him great field position. Had the most recent touchdown on the long pass play. Here on the jet sweep, able to turn it up inside. Got great blocking downfield. A lot of credit to that offensive line. Harold Thacker, the right tackle, who went out with a cramping situation downfield in the secondary, causing havoc.
So Emmanuel Jenkins, that's how you get the EJ. And Ruby looking across the middle, throws it up and got his man for the touchdown. Count it. And again, Parker Logan makes the catch, the tight end for the score. And then it was 27-7.
What a great target he is over the middle from that tight end spot at 6'2". They feel like they can throw the ball up to him. He's a basketball player as well, Randy, so he's got great hands. Able to find the ball. He signals to his quarterback, I'm open, throws it up high enough where he's able to high point the football and gets a mismatch down there.
Extra point time now for Pop. The snap, the kick, plenty of leg, and with 8:49 left to go, the margin is 3 converted touchdowns for the Vikings at 28-7. We'll take a break. Brady's going to look for an answer or two, but this guy has been strong. Ruby's been a gem, and so is Logan. 28-7 on the CW Columbus.
girls junior varsity field hockey team plays St. Ursula Academy on Carlin Fields. At 1 p.m. tomorrow, the varsity soccer team plays Beechcroft right here on Hondros Field. At 1 p.m., the girls field hockey team celebrates Senior Day against St. Ursula Academy on Carlin.
And folks, you have a quick look there at the Columbus Academy Band, who performed earlier tonight at halftime. This peak sponsored by Music Go Round Marching Band Sound. Check out any of their locations, 2630 Bethel Road and Gahanna inside the Stone Ridge Plaza. And their drums were booming tonight, I can tell you that. Outstanding percussion from the folks from Academy. So now it's 28-7, and we're going to have a hard choice for our player of the game, because right now I think James and perhaps Jenkins and even Logan making a three-headed monster. So,
well, how about throwing Henry Ruby in the mix as well? Talk about efficient passing. 5 out of 10. Not great, not exciting. 107 yards. Not great, not exciting, but three, count them, 3 touchdown passes.
And there's the boot. And the return going to start from inside the 5-yard line. And bouncing it outside and trying to find an opening here is Reinhardt. Got it out to the 31-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Reedy from there. Well, 8:39 left to go. You got a lot of work and not a whole lot of time. So if your running game has been effective, we'll see a dose of that. But you got to think they're going to open it up a little bit more now.
Yeah, they're going to have to start throwing the football 28-7 in this game. And again, this is not their MO, but they surprised me and a lot of other people with their ability to be able to throw the football in the first half of play.
From the 31-yard line is where Caleb Schaefer and company will take over. Caleb and his family related to the Pentellos. So I think, of course, remember Rocky Pentello, who was at Brady for a while and also played at Capital as well, too. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line with the backs from an eye. Schaefer on a little boot, looks downfield, and pass incomplete. Boy, you had 3 defenders converging on the football and 1 receiver in Dalton Miller.
Yeah, and that ball was hanging up there, and you can see a little slow getting up on the sidelines. Looks like it's one of the Academy players.
It is indeed. It is Carson James.
Yeah, Carson James, who made the special teams play on the kick return back in there on the defensive side. And
pass incomplete, broken up for the Vikings by Carson James.
Yeah, Randy, credit to both teams tonight. Don't want to jinx anybody, but no turnovers in this football game for either team.
Now you did. 2nd out and 10. You were my hero until that. Speaking of heroes, I have a question for you here in a second. As they hand it off, take it off the left-hand side, and short gain on the play for Fitzsimmons. Speaking of heroes, when do we see the debut or debut of Logan's Heroes?
Well, as everybody knows, you can't jump on it until after the first 5 games of the season.
So next week?
But I'm going to give you a little bit of a
teaser?
Maybe a teaser.
All right.
Let you know that right now in Division 1, I like Marysville, Darby, UA, and New Albany. Division 3, I like Granville. Pickerington Central, big loss last week against Pickerington North. Still got to count them in. And Bloom Carroll, they go up against Amanda Clear Creek tonight. That'll be a big game for them. West Jeff and Newark Catholic, all teams in the mix.
On a 3rd down play now, Schaefer rolling right. Wants to throw, pressure's on, looking downfield, running out of room, and throws it away. Can't throw it away on a 3rd down play like that. You hate to see that happen. So
all right,
now
so you want to jump on any of these real quick? Because you know.
I almost listened to you, so I'm going to take a look at this one more time. Bloom Carroll, I like. Division 1, yeah, there's some good teams in there. I'll give you that.
You know, Marysville been a little bit of a surprise. They're 3-0 so far. They lost the game to COVID, but they've got a game tonight. A big game tonight, though. Darby at Gahanna. It'll be interesting because Darby, I think, is the real deal for sure.
And Gahanna's playing better. We saw them with that victory in week number 2 over Groveport. So 4th down after the incomplete pass. So O'Connell to boot it. And Jenkins, the last man on the field, retreats back to inside his 35-yard line with 7:39 left to go.
How shocked were you to see the Pickerington Central loss to North?
You know, whenever those 2 teams get together, you never know what to expect, crazy. To be honest with you.
But with 96 seconds remaining in that game, Pickerington Central's leading 10-0.
Yep.
And they lose 13-10 in the last 96 seconds of that football game.
Reedy's going to burn their first time out, by the way, with 7:39 left to go. And let's step aside for 30 seconds for this special message.
Capital City Concrete replaces cracked and crumbling driveways with beautiful, sleek, and new concrete driveways. 5-star rated Capital City Concrete guarantees our concrete driveways are done right. Plus, now through Wednesday, save $300. So when it comes to your new driveway,
let the pros do it.
Get your free price quote and save $300 at capcityconcrete.com or call us at 614-371-9886.
We got a credit card up
We
here.
thank you for watching, and we thank them for their support. Yeah, it was a good point, too. And Darby and Davidson, a big game last week as well, too. And Jerome and Kaufman as well, too, with Kaufman getting a big victory in overtime.
Randy Upper Arlington, who we saw in week 1 with their inspiring come-from-behind victory, 42-41 against Reynoldsburg. They're 4-0, and they're playing at Central Crossing tonight.
And look at this roll, Jeff, all the way inside the 15-yard line. Scooped up there by Jenkins, and E.J. going to give ground. Needs some help. Go north and south, not east and west, young man. And this update, Carson Griesach is still running.
Yeah, no kidding. What a great start for that football team. New Albany, also a team that is performing highly, 4-0.
They are motoring. We have them in week number 10. Berlin tasting defeat for the first time. We've got them coming up later on the schedule. And speaking of contests coming up on the schedule, Mr. Logan, we have a good one next week from the CCL. Next week, Honda's Friday Night Rivals will feature St. Francis de Sales taking on Bishop Hartley. It starts right here on the CW Columbus. 7 o'clock the coverage, 7:06 the kickoff.
Are you starting to hear the Logan's Heroes music in your ear?
I am. I was having a bad dream, so that's probably what it was. We're going to keep it on the ground, will the Vikings, and nudge their way out across the 20 to around the 23-yard line. And again, you would expect to see a heavy dose of this, as this time on the carry, big number 25 for the second time getting a carry in this contest, and that is Jake Kolodny. Well, and, you know, next week should be interesting because we haven't seen the best of DeSales. Hartley's had a killer schedule as well, too. Both of them play, you know, statewide schedules. So it'll be interesting to see when we localize these two teams what's going to happen in week number 6.
You know, Randy, with the expanded playoff situation in the state of Ohio now, the second half of the season really becomes important for a lot of teams.
Second down and 8. And once again, Kolodny on the ground with 6:34 and ticking. It'll be third down. I don't know if there's one team that surprises me, but I am surprised by the number of teams that have struggled, I guess, early on that we didn't think would struggle. I know Dublin Kaufman with a new regime, so they came out of the gate 0-3, but they've fought back. Westerville Central has struggled early in the campaign as well, too.
Saw Westerville South losing early tonight in their game. Westerville South has, I think, struggled. We expected them to maybe be a little bit stronger.
And we've had some pleasant surprises, too. Bloom Carroll has played well in the past, but they were off to that strong 4-0 start. Got a chance to see them a couple of weeks ago. Third down and 7 for the Vikings from the 23-yard line. The 4 wideout look. And the back judge with a hand up, so they'll just wait, snap at the last second, and pay the price for the loss on the play. And the Silver Knights not backing down will force a punting situation with just about 5.5 left to go.
Defensive stop.
Well, Jeff, it'll be fun because the last half of the season we've seen, you know, looking at it, a lot of large schools that will get the opportunity to make a statement for the playoffs. And again, some of the drama is gone, as you mentioned, with the expanded playoff procedure. But by the same token, you got a lot of teams that want to fight for league championships and make a statement and go on a roll going into that postseason.
Good clock management here by Academy, waiting as long as they can.
The back judge with 3, 2, 1. Snapped it just in time. And there is a booming punt this time. And Miller will scoop it up on the hop at the 33-yard line and get it up to the 40. The one problem you have there, though, is the back judge is so far away. If you're watching for the 5 count, makes it difficult. It's time now for the music go round. Sounds of the game. We had what we thought was a fumble almost earlier on. Take a look and listen.
Before the whistle was blown, that would have been the first turnover, but that's what happens in football. Get some that go with you, some that go against you.
Great job by Dean Marini and the image video crew. They readjust the defense, move the nose over a little bit, and Reinhardt on the handoff and gets it up to around the 44, maybe the 45-yard line. As Kentrell getting a lot of playing time. When you think about the bumps and bruises he's taking as just a freshman as a running back. Jeff, when was the first time you got to contribute? As a sophomore on the varsity level?
Yeah, sophomore year was really the first opportunity, and actually had an injury to one of the senior running backs, which gave me the opportunity to start after about halfway through my sophomore year.
You remember what happened in your first game, besides crying? Reinhardt again. He hits the hole with a vengeance and has the first down.
I just remember being incredibly nervous about being out there. You have confidence that you can help, but as a 15-year-old kid out there with men, at least it felt like it, it's a pretty intimidating circumstance.
So now you can identify with Kentrell Reinhardt, who, again, with that speed and power, able to burst through the opening surge and get a nice first down inside the 45 to the 44 as we approach 4 minutes left to go in quarter number 4. Reinhardt bounces it to the outside. Inside the 35 to the 30 and gets another first down. Are you surprised by the calls right now? Or?
Well, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to, give something to build on for next week. Obviously, you're down 28-7. You're not going to win this football game or come back. They're not going to just throw it downfield for willy-nilly and just get rid of the football. This is part of their base offense, and they're trying to get a game breaker, the ball, and that's Kentrell Reinhardt.
And some different faces out there defensively right now, too, by the way, for Academy in this contest. Off the right side, they get it, and they'll take the ball inside the 25 to around the 22. I'm looking out there, and I see the likes of Ritzenthaler out there on defense as well, too, and some other faces that we haven't seen much of, and some new faces in the secondary as well, too, besides him. So, and there is what is up for grabs. Wow, it's dated and everything. I think we should have one of those artists carving the winning school's name right on the side of it right during the game at the end of the contest.
Yeah, but that would require having to get it out of the hands of Miles. He's over there hugging that thing.
And somebody on the crew being able to spell, too, as well. So
that's a good point.
Fitzsimmons takes it off the right side and fights his way. We thought he was stopped at around the 11-yard line, but if you go 5 yards to your left, he's still downfield there. As a little apparel lost on the play by big number 74, and that is
trying to get
Jude Kazan.
He's trying to get that high-top shoe back on. He might also want to pull his shorts up a little bit.
You the fashion police or something?
I'm just telling you.
All right.
That was not a great view. There you go. Pull those up, 7-4.
First down now. First and goal from just inside the 10-yard line. And a big gap. Another Home Appliance Solutions first down. They'll get the ball inside the 5-yard line. Well, the one thing you want to do right now is to read his score, and Fitzsimmons is going to try to do that. But I think if you're defensively coaching the Academy squad, you would like to see your team buckle down here a little bit more, too. Again, you've got maybe some new faces out there defensively, but you hate to give up a late touchdown. And, Jeff, you and I have to decide on a player of the game.
Yeah, I think it's more important to be able to have kids out there getting reps in a real game like this. So, Randy, good for Coach Robin Miller getting some other players out there, even if it does result in a touchdown, and they are across the goal line.
Fitzsimmons will take it in. Another Ramos Roofing touchdown. For a free roof inspection, text or call 614-761-ROOF and make it 28-13 in this fourth quarter. Again, off the left side, and just the push there in favor of the Silver Knights, and they finally win a battle in the trenches, and they get the touchdown to cut it to 2 touchdowns.
That's Brian Fitzsimmons, who we highlighted at the beginning of the football game, and really good football player. And Silver Knights are at a real challenge the rest of the way, as does Academy with their schedule.
O'Connell with the extra point to make it 28-14, and now Fitzsimmons with 8 touchdowns on the ground so far this season with 2:16 left to go, down by 2 scores. Do you contemplate an onside kick here?
Why not? After what I just told you happened in the Pickerington Central Pickerington North game.
All right, it's time for our Zambezi Bay player of the game. We got to think about this.
Yeah,
we got to think about this, all right?
Well,
you got 60 seconds to think about this. Write down an answer here. We'll see if you match what I have. We'll play a little match game. I'll be Gene Rayburn. You can be Richard Dawson.
All right. Well, I've got my guy for sure.
I could say Brett Summers, but that'd be too offensive to you. While we've got that break in the action here, we want to remind you of something that's very important. It's the biggest plays, the biggest schools, the best high school football, and you get to see it first. That's right. Thanks to First Scores on Fox 28, sponsored by Spectrum. It's your opportunity to know what happened and who shined, only on First Scores on Fox 28 tonight at 10:45. Only again on Fox 28. Write down something here.
I did.
Where is it?
It's done. I'm not going to show you until you tell me.
Did you share it with the truck?
Oh, I didn't share it with the truck.
Share it with the truck. All right. That's been shared with the truck now. And we'll find out who he picked. And we'll find out who I picked in just a second.
Oh.
There's the onside kick, and they have a chance at this one. It rumbles around at the 50-yard line and went far enough. I'm surprised Academy wasn't omnipresent to figure out that would happen.
Well, they had their fire truck. They had their team in there for onside kick potential. But it looks like Academy came up with the football, and it's Logan who came up with the ball. Parker Logan, what a night that young man has had with the recovery on the onside kick there.
All right, I've written my answer. When we go to that later on, we'll see if we match. I got to remember it's on the back of card number 2. So 1st and 10 now for the Vikings from the 49-yard line, and we will clear the bench now offensively for the Vikings with 2:11 left to go. Jack Yeoman in, perhaps, at quarterback?
It is, sophomore quarterback. Getting an opportunity there in the shotgun, number 12.
On a 1st down and 10 from the 49. And he'll hand it off. Nice little run, and look at this. Strong run. That's Kolodny, who's seen a lot of action here in the second half. And Jake, the junior, 5'11 and 185, rumbling inside the 35 all the way down to the 30-yard line.
You know, Kolodny, just a junior, guy that they rely upon as a running back and a linebacker. I think at this level in Division 5, if you're given like a 20 or a 30 number, that's going to require you to play on both sides of the ball. I mean, you got to be a specialist on both sides.
And remember, again, he's the founder of the Sticker Club.
There you go.
That's the most important thing.
That's special.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. 1:40 left to go in regulation. Just think, if Brady could have come up with that onside kick, it was very close.
Yep, they're going to wait as long as they can.
And the back judge waves his hand, counts it down with a 5 down to 1. Kolodny again. And Kolodny collides.
See the little hesitation there, Randy, on that run? The difference between that and what we have seen tonight with Carter James running the football is no hesitation at that line. And that's where you get, all right, through experience, you get that kind of stuff. And Carter James had quite a night tonight.
It is time now for our Zambezi Bay player of the game, and we have Carter James with 20 carries, 112 yards, played strong on defense too, a couple of huge plays, good frame, but even better speed, and plays every single down, and Carter James gets the nod as our player of the game. And who did I write down?
That boy. Good
Carter
work.
James.
You finally got one right.
Thank you. I'm 1 for 27. They keep it on the ground again, not a whole lot there. This time on the carry, it is Grayson Thomas. So Grayson Thomas gets the carry with half a minute left to go.
So you bet it all on a true daily double, basically,
I bet
right?
it all right there. Fill in the blank.
Tackle on that last play for the Silver Knights by Columbus.
So 19 seconds left to go.
Nice celebration here on the sidelines by the Academy football players, their student body, parents. Great support here for the Academy Vikings tonight.
And they mark the ball for play so they don't have to run another one, and that will do it. Academy gets the victory. That was huge for them. They will advance to 2 and 3. Same mark now for Brady. And these two teams, if they continue to play at this level and continue to grow, Jeff, I think have a chance to make a statement in the second season.
I would agree with you 100%, Randy, that both teams can be proud of the way that they played tonight. Really the tale of different quarters there. You see the coaches congratulating one another. Both of the coaching staffs doing a terrific job of preparing their football teams for tonight. But Academy was able to answer the bell. They got smoked a year ago by this football team, and they came back and they delivered the blow tonight.
Well, not only that, but Brady eliminated them in 2018 from the playoff hunt as they finished 9th, and the top 8 made the playoffs back then. With that being said, 28-14, the final tally in this one. More to come in 30 seconds, but first, this message from First Scores on Fox 28.
First Scores on Fox 28, sponsored by Spectrum, tonight at 10:45.
Well, Robin Miller and the crew very happy here at Hondros Field as they get the victory tonight as they double up on Reedy by a count of 28-14. Down to the 40-yard line we go, where our Miles Harris is standing by with a trophy and a happy group of Vikings.
That's absolutely right there, Randy. Thank you a lot, Coach. Week 5 winning here for Honda's Friday Night Rivals. Coach, congratulations. Tell us, how does this win feel?
Feels fantastic. We needed this one. We needed it.
Now, really good performance here by your offense as well as your defense. What was clicking for you guys, especially in the second half there?
These guys made the decision to execute and get the win. They played total team football, offense, defense, special teams. They got it done.
Guys! Let's toss it back to you.
Swallow up Miles, crew. Go ahead and get it down there. Hold that up, Coach. Miles, tell him to hold that trophy up in the air. Let's see that up there. Come on. That's how you celebrate.
Good for them. Congratulations. That was a long time coming. That's been a bad taste in their mouth for quite some time, the loss from a year ago.
By the same token, if you're Bishop Reedy, you built on a lot here tonight. You showed your ability to do more than just run the football between the tackles. You do have a passing game, and you've got a number of weapons on offense and some strong play defensively as well, too.
They're going to be fine. But, Randy, one of the things that they've got to work on, and I guarantee you that their head football coach, Michael Schaefer, is going to work on, are the mistakes. Too many penalties in this game.
And that's because he's a doctor. He knows what he's doing, right? Take a look at the final stats in this contest. And you mentioned it. I thought you jinxed it at first, but no turnovers, but the penalties really mounted up and at inopportune times for the Silver Knights in this contest.
Man, 90 yards in penalties. That is just unacceptable. But look at the total yards. 351 total yards to only 205. Outclassed tonight. Columbus Academy, congratulations. Terrific game.
And we talk about the battle of the trenches. That was won tonight by Academy on both sides, the offensive and defensive line. So let's give a tip of the cap to Mendenhall and Taberry and Friedman and Commissar and Hacker for the job that they did up front in this contest as they get the victory, and the celebration begins in earnest now here at Hondros Field as Academy goes to 2-3. And Jeff, it's been a pleasure.
Enjoyed it, my friend. And week number 6 ought to be a lot of fun because we got Logan's Heroes.
And we've got a football game as well, too, built around that, too. Kind of you're the donut part of that. But St. Francis de Sales, Bishop Hartley showdown in the CCL. It never disappoints. And with that being said, as another edition of Honda's Friday Night Rivals comes to a close, we would like to extend a big thank you to all of our sponsors and to Dean Marini and the Image Video broadcast team. Join us again next Friday at 7 p.m. when St. Francis de Sales takes on Bishop Hartley. On behalf of Jeff Logan, Miles Harris, Jake Stewart, I'm Randy Reinhardt. Academy sets sail for win number 2 on the campaign, and they get it. 28-14 over Reedy. Join me and say it one final time. You've been watching Honda's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College, in one place on the CW Columbus.